Good evening. We're back. We're out in the shed. We're
Out in the
reviewing John Travolta's hit film, well, not really a hit film, from 1996, Michael. Michael is a 7-hour movie where John Travolta he plays a very different type of angel. The film was met with quite mixed reception. I'll pull it up on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not actually sure what it's sitting at right now. Yeah,
I bet
38%
I'm 38%.
from Tomato and a 45% on the popcorn meter. So fairly mixed.
Yeah,
This
no,
was a
that's
very interesting movie, yeah.
yeah. Um
I think you sent a picture of a surf and turf as your
I thought there was
as
a,
your thoughts of it.
this was a full platter, partially because,
It
like you
wa-
said, it was 7 hours long.
it was 7 hours. Yeah, it was 7 hours long. It felt like it. It
Yeah,
really
oh,
did.
it felt like it. Yeah, it felt like it.
Well, yeah, let's get into what did you
I
think of let's do some high level thoughts, yeah. So what did you think of the movie
yeah,
overall?
I'm kind of afraid to say it, but I I really liked it. I thought it was great.
Ah, jeez, dude.
Okay.
Now, prior to John Travolta being introduced, I was kind of staring at the screen in horror. The first maybe like 50, I don't know how long that is, 30 minutes maybe, 20,
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I really did not like what I was seeing. Um,
I did not like
but
what I was seeing.
once Travolta came in and like that bit got rolling, I
Yeah.
um I I found it really charming. Really, like, I don't know, kinda
Okay.
heartwarming and cozy. I don't know. What did you
Heartwarming,
think?
cozy. Yeah. Okay. Um, I'm just like, I
Oh,
mean,
and before you
how do I?
I found the humor, like, all of the things with, like, Travolta to just be, like, really, really funny, to be
Okay.
honest.
Very,
I'll let you go.
very
I'll let you
interesting.
go.
So, yeah, Michael. Um, I am kind of, I would say I'm more mixed.
Mhm.
I think, I think for the first time I watched this movie, I hated it, and there are parts I find kind of sweet. I think I think my main problem with it is that it depicts the way it depicts an angel is it
Oh,
just
yeah.
it seems just so like debased and wrong to have an
I think
angel smoking
yeah.
and drinking. But I could see where you'd find it charming.
I do think that that's the Scientology coming through.
Hmm.
Uh, but aside from that, I do agree with you there. I do agree with you there.
Like I don't.
I kind of just toss that as like this is like Xenu influence, and just kind
Mhm.
of toss that to the side.
How
But
do you think it's
I
Xenu
do,
influence? Do you think they're like ragging on Christianity or
yeah,
something?
yeah. I think it's
Hmm.
supposed to like lower people's, like what if an
Hmm.
angel was a dirtbag,
Hmm.
like
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I could see that. I felt like something sort of sinister was going on. I felt that it was like, oh, I'm a boomer that lives in an attic and drinks beer all day. I'm basically an angel. I it's like it's
yeah, no, I could see that.
I we'll go through more of the scenes, but I felt like it's just it doesn't I guess why I'm mixed on it is because there's some things I really like about his character and how they and some of the messages of the movie, but I see a danger in that it's not an angel should be a something to strive for. in
Yeah.
the I think
Yeah.
I sent some of the references in the Bible and Paradise Lost. Michael was he was one of the highest archangels. I don't know if Jamie can get some art of Michael, but he was the oh this is actually epic, though I think it's from probably from Diablo. He was one of the highest angels that is said to have, I think, fought Lucifer in Paradise
Yeah, I
Lost at least, and
do believe he's the one that fought Lucifer. Yeah.
and a he think he says that in the movie too, and he's a paragon of virtue, and maybe it's from all the Sunday school, but to me it seems that depicting them as anything other than perfect is wrong. Though this, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
So I agree, and like I said, I think that's just the influences of the lead and Hollywood being kind
Mhm,
of
mhm.
you could either say Hollywood's scum or Hollywood's Scientology influence, but I
Yeah,
do think that though, like, I think that he, despite the like being a bum loser in some random old lady's attic, I think that I think that the choices that he makes are very interesting.
yes,
Uh, so do you want to go? I can just do like a high level summary of his like some of his choices because
sure.
I think they're
You
really
can
funny.
you can make your case, and we can go into them more later.
He strikes down a bank, which is
This was
based.
based.
That was based as hell.
Are you familiar with
Um,
what that's he calls them money changers. Are you familiar with the Bible verse that's referring to?
I no. I
We gotta
honestly,
okay. We gotta pull this up.
what I'd wanna say, I don't think I should say.
Don't say it, but I will. So this was one of the most famous stories in the New Testament. Jamie has it pulled up. So there were some merchants, and they took a temple or like a synagogue or something, and they converted it into basically a flea market. And Jesus,
Mm.
uh, arguably in his most, they say Jesus never sinned, but he seemed fairly wrathful here. He stormed in and threw over all the tables and whipped the money changers out and chastised them for desecrating a house of prayer. Not exactly the same thing going on in the movie, but he does call them the money changers. Let's see if we have some concept art of this.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
based as hell.
this was
That's
absolutely yeah, this was absolutely based.
wow.
Absolutely a massive W from Jesus. Yeah, he
Wow,
whipped
the
he
depictions are really awesome.
this was one of
The
his
cleansing of the temple.
yeah. I guess
That
this wasn't
rule.
a sin to whip money changers out of the temple, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No, it absolutely shouldn't.
I mean
So that's
he's
the
a
first
good
thing.
yeah.
He executes an act of Jesus and gets
Yeah, he
these
basically in the spirit of Jesus, he strikes down
he
the money
he gets
changers.
these like usury devils off this nice old lady's back.
Mhm.
Um he
That's what I mean. You're definitely right. You're right. You're right about this stuff. He does a lot of base things. But yeah, continue.
he sees a bull in a field
Mhm.
and goes right for it, which if you're a long time listener, you know how we feel about bulls on this show.
Yeah, not yeah, urban cowboy throwback.
Yeah. Um, I think the major point against that kind of like goes through the whole film is he seems to be a real womanizer, but
Mhm.
um they don't really show that. They kind of just see that women are attracted to him like a beacon of light.
If they
Uh,
actually showed him sleeping with the women, that would make this movie an instant doom for me.
oh yeah. Because if you're a real strict interpretation person, he doesn't really do anything with them. He's just
Well,
charm.
I feel like he is doing something with them, but no shit.
And then
There's a lot of
otherwise,
theological discussions to get into about all this.
yeah, otherwise, I mean, he performs a miracle and revives the dog, which isn't quite as noble as the other two things, but
Mhm. Well,
um,
he he facilitates the relationship between the two other characters. I think is the biggest thing he does. You know what I mean?
yeah, especially like at the end there when they go their separate ways and come back.
Well, because he
I
says,
couldn't.
"Oh no, I'm sorry."
Yeah, well, he does say through like when they're on their way back to Chicago, he's like, I think he says something about like teaching somebody how to love. Is that what it is?
Mhm.
Or
His
teaching
his whole his whole thing was teaching them both how to love again, and I thought
yeah,
this was probably the sweetest part because because the if you in the beginning of the movie he says he goes up to the guy. I can't even remember what the other characters' names are. I only remember that his name's Michael because it's in the title. But John Travolta goes up to the one guy and he says, "You will apologize." And
yeah.
the guy says, "For what?" He says, "Not now. You'll apologize later." And then he says
Yeah,
to
he's like when I say.
and he says to the girl, you will sing, but not now." And then he tells them both to fulfill that later. I thought that
Yeah,
was very sweet. I thought that was a
that was
great depiction of
really the
divine,
way
like
that came together was
yeah.
really nice.
I thought, and that's what makes me. These are the parts I like of the movie because it's. I feel like at its core, it is like a nice message that it's a nice depiction of sort of the divine looking out for you and facilitating what really matters. So yeah, he does do a lot of nice stuff.
Another moment that I found really sweet in this film is there's the
Mhm.
kind of perspective that Michael has on humanity.
Yeah.
Um, is like he seems to have a passion for these like world's biggest whatever that like humans make. Like
The
basically
biggest
like
like hand.
they're dumb, but it's kind of like the triumphs of humanity. Like what are the most accomplished versions of whatever that they put
Mhm.
together.
Yeah, I do
And
want to discuss more about
throughout
that.
their journey, the two guys, I think one of them's name is Huey. I don't remember the other one's name.
Huey and oh, his name's Frank. There's no way they
Frank.
ever refer to him as Frank.
No, they don't.
And her
Uh,
name is Dorothy. What the? My mom was like, I really liked Michael because it had Michelle Pfeiffer in it. I said,
is she
what?
is she in
No,
it?
no, it didn't. No, it doesn't.
I didn't think so.
This girl
um,
looks nothing like Michelle. Michelle Pfeiffer's in Hairspray, but not Michael.
maybe your mom loves Hairspray.
No, Jesus.
Um, well, yeah. So he has this passion for seeing, you know, these world's biggest whatever
Hmm.
humanity has
Hmm.
created. And then when they're rushing him back to Chicago, rather than like shuttle him up the elevator to show their boss and to like save their job,
Hmm.
they just lay him down and they're like, Michael, this is Sears Tower. This is the tallest building.
Hmm.
Um, I think it might have been the tallest building in the world. I don't know. It kind of like
They
flips
tell them it
the.
is. It doesn't. I'm not sure if that's true, but
Yeah, I don't remember, but
whatever. It doesn't matter.
it held some kind of record, and they were telling him
Yeah.
about that, and I
Mhm.
kind of thought that that was like the kind of like proof that they had changed because they went from like just being like, why the fuck does this guy want to see the like world's biggest ball of yarn to like
Mhm.
understanding his
Mhm.
appreciation for humanity and
Mhm.
saying like, oh, let's like just give him this one last thing. You
Yeah.
know, I thought that was pretty sweet.
I thought that's yeah, that's why I'm so conflicted on this movie because I do agree, and I will say it almost I won't say it brought a tear to my eye, but it's one of the sweetest ideas I think I've seen in any media. The idea that an angel like only gets a certain time on Earth, and there's
Yeah.
like there's something like there's something about Earth that that there's not in heaven, And now
Yeah,
even
yeah,
an
no,
angel
I
it
love
really
that.
makes you think. Yeah, it's really makes you think about like what we have here. I find yeah, it is like a really beautiful idea. Though I do think in the very end it kind of subverts it when he's like back on the street dancing, but whatever.
Yeah.
But we can.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, do you wanna do a scene by scene or at least go through our notes?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's do scene by
one
scene.
one one last observation I have. First,
Yeah.
I gotta look something up first.
Mhm.
When did Seinfeld first air?
Oh, jeez. Let me look it up.
1989, I think.
1989. Yeah.
I couldn't help but feel that they were going for a Jerry, George, and Elaine. Uh,
Oh. Wait.
it
That
almost fits way too well. Like
she does kind of look like
the the
oh
Jerry
yeah.
is the like one that has it together. The George is kind of a dope, and
You think Travolta's
Elaine
Kramer?
Travolta's Kramer.
Michael Kramer.
I mean that kind of tracks.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That is interesting that it does sort of fit with that dynamic. This guy's hair, Huey's hair is definitely fake, right?
Uh,
I'm trying to find a yeah, and I don't know. I
Huey
don't know.
or John?
Huey, the guy with the
Oh yeah, it didn't look real.
it reminded me of the episode. I guess it reminds me of the episode of Seinfeld where George got the toupee.
Yeah, that struck me almost immediately once the like group was put together for this outing.
Yeah, I do yeah, I guess they are a little Seinfeld-ish, I will say.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe maybe it was just in the air at
Well,
the time.
1996, it had to be pretty, you know, even if people weren't realizing it, that had to probably maybe contribute to somebody liking
Mhm,
it. It's like, oh,
mhm.
this reminds me of Seinfeld.
I think I could see it though. I will say the Seinfeld cast is more impressive.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Before we get into scene by scene, I had a sort of my one take of a possibility on
hmm
this movie was what do you think about the idea that Travolta might actually be a demon?
Well, the last scene kind of gives that some credence, right? He lied basically,
He did lie, but also
and he lies actually a couple times because he's like, oh, I don't. That's not part when they like want him to revive the dog. He's like, oh, that's not my area of specialty or whatever, and then he just does it.
Mhm. He does it anyway.
Because
He's a
isn't
bit he's a bit
again,
roguish. Well, yeah.
I'm not I'm no theologian, but
Mhm.
um Lucifer is an angel, right?
Yes. All the like the demons or devils or whatever you want to call them in hell are angels.
Yeah,
They
so they can present
well
as
they
an
would look
angel.
like if he said because I don't know if he does he I don't know if he's ever calls himself well he does claim to be Michael, but he's always saying I'm not that kind of angel or that's not my area. And I kind of had a I was like what if
So
he is some sort of demon that's here like with a
I
different
think
set
that
of
that's a
morals.
really interesting reading of it.
Mhm.
So my take on that was, and again, this is just my limited understanding of Christianity, but
Mhm.
is he the only angel that is like known for combat?
You know, I don't know if I know enough about it, but a lot of this comes from Paradise Lost too, which was maybe we should do an episode on that. That was Milton's
I'd like
poem.
I would like to do that. That's
I
like been
actually
on my.
we can talk about this after, but I kind of think after the Travolta series, I may want to rebrand this like a epic poetry podcast.
I would be down for that. There's a lot
You
of
could let it simmer.
poetry.
You could let it simmer. No,
I
Paradise
mean, I
Lost.
think we could do it all. The world's our oyster.
No, we can do everything. Yes, just only so many hours in a day. But no, so Paradise Lost was the poem about basically the fall of Eden. So
Hmm.
are you familiar with the Genesis story?
No, not well enough.
So the highlights of it is worth even if if you don't believe it, it is worth reading all the Bible. But the Genesis story is God made Adam, and then he made Eve out of Adam.
Hmm.
Then there was a tree of forbidden knowledge, the fruit of
Yeah.
forbidden knowledge, and then a snake that is unnamed came and tempted Eve to eat the fruit so she would know like God. And then she did. Then they were banished. Adam and Eve were then banished from the garden. And
Mm.
in Paradise Lost is a more it's Milton's imagining of that and more fleshed out than in the Bible. But
Gotcha.
in so a lot of like the imagination about angels and angels fighting and stuff comes from Paradise Lost. I'm actually not sure how much it is in the Bible, but in it's in Paradise Lost they describe that Lucifer rebelled against God, and there was a whole war with all like a civil war between the angels, and then they were sent to hell by Michael in Paradise Lost, and it was actually Michael
Mm.
that led Adam and Eve out of the garden. So this is like probably like the number one like angel that people would know. But I
Interesting.
do so so I do I could see he's basically not the only angel that would know combat. So
Okay.
my suspicion, I don't know. I mean, on the surface he is Michael the archangel, but I do wonder if he's sort of a demon because he doesn't
Anything is
doesn't
on the
follow the
table
rules.
with
He
with
doesn't follow the
Travolta
rules.
and
Or maybe
like
he's a
it would
yeah,
not
maybe he's a
it would
Satan
not
or
put it past
something.
me if that was the like intended effect. Like, oh, actually, this is a demon.
This is actually a Phaeton. He was uh
um,
he was next to the hydrogen bomb.
going from Battlefield Earth to this was such a whirlwind.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very different films. Yeah, what do you think? Maybe we can start going scene by scene.
Hmm.
The beginning, I will say, I need Travolta sooner.
Yeah.
I need
Oh, yeah.
when I said this was a
Yeah.
7 hour movie, I'm mostly referring to the scenes without Travolta.
Yes.
So they
I like
strike
I
me
said,
off.
I'd be interested to see at what point he's introduced, like what timestamp, because I really felt like the first like 30 or 40 minutes were just like utter
Well, I
garbage
just don't get
up
what they
until he
had to
gets
do with
there.
anything. Like we see the bank, which is
That's important.
that's important, but then we get this scene. I really like the shot of the bank falling.
No, that was I
uh,
had no idea what to expect, and I was
yeah,
like, that was crazy.
yeah, especially given they didn't even what was the bank doing back then that was so bad? Giving out 3% mortgages? I mean, if Travolta came to Earth, he would like nuke the
Hey,
Black Rock.
evil then, evil now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should do a sequel to Michael where he finds out that BlackRock's buying homes and just
Michael just lays
just wages.
waste to
Yeah, he just
all of
wages war.
America.
Yeah. So there's this scene where I don't even know what the point of all this was.
So let me see if I understand this correctly. They work for like a junk like reporting on Bigfoot magazine.
Yeah, I think so.
And and so that was like them trying to get a picture of Santa uh on the front page of their magazine.
Really?
Yeah.
But surely people wouldn't think that's actually Santa, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you say the same about these magazines that are like evidence of Bigfoot,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean,
Because that's
that's
why,
really
like,
dumb.
but
That's really dumb
before they
if that's true.
before they go into this guy's office, it shows some people on the phone, and they're like, "Oh, so you're saying he was levitating on the bed? Oh yeah, like I'll send somebody out to go check that out, or like I don't know." And then
300-year-old elf found.
yeah, this is
I
like
guess
one of
this
those
was
like
for
rag journalism.
I guess it's
Like
for boomers. Okay, okay. I just didn't really get. I don't know. Maybe the
I
scene
think it's
didn't hit for me.
that's kind of like an artifact, like lost in time. I don't think
I
those
just
really
can't.
exist
I can't
anymore.
imagine
But
people thinking elves are real or Santa. I don't know.
um, I also one thing.
Yeah.
The dog seems really important in the first like 15 minutes, and
Uh huh.
it's not important at all
Wait,
for
what?
the
Sorry,
rest of
you
the film.
cut out for me. What was important?
Oh, sorry. The dog seemed of vital importance the
This
first
dog
15
pissed me
minutes.
off. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
There was like a weird amount of focus on the dog, and there's even a portrait of the dog on the wall. I don't know if
Yeah,
Jamie
like I don't
forgot.
understand what the importance of the dog is when the magazine isn't about the dog, it's about all these like extraterrestrials or whatever
It was
and like ghosts. Like, did they really need the dog to get Elaine to travel with them?
yeah. Like look at this. There's a picture of the dog on the wall.
Yeah.
I don't get it. What? Who's the dog was Huey's or something? Or and why did they needed a
Well, so
dog
he
trainer?
explains it. He explain Huey says later that the whole reason he got this job was because he was sitting outside with his boss of like a coffee shop or something, and this dog,
Yeah.
this like disgusting stray dog, was like near his feet, and the boss was like, "Oh, I used to have a dog like that named Sparky," and Huey, just to fuck with him, was like, "Oh, that's crazy. This is my dog. His name's Sparky," and then he like has had this job ever since because the boss is obsessed with the dog.
The boss is obsessed with the dog. I
Because
mean,
he had a dog named Sparky that looked just like that.
that's
It's dumb.
just boomer brain. I don't even think I don't even think I picked up on any of that because it seems so dumb.
It doesn't make sense. I like you'd think of all of the top minds over at whatever studio cracked this film up. Uh, the dog really just exists so Elaine travels with them and then they like kindle that relationship. But I feel like the dog, like there could have been another reason that their Elaine goes with them.
So the movie hinges on a little dog. Wow.
Yeah.
This it felt so boomer. I don't know. Like I don't know, boomers and their fur babies. We need is what? The dog
Actually,
doesn't even have a character.
that's not a weight that you can lay on the boomers' feet. That's a millennial thing. But I
Mm.
do think boomers still have a reverence for the dog.
I just I feel like I filtered out every time they talked about the dog. It just it seemed so irrelevant. Like why who cares? You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I
Why is it
agree.
a major plot point? The dog can't even talk and it doesn't even have a relationship.
I
I think in that way look who's talking now is superior.
at least the dogs are characters and not just dogs.
I
Um,
just don't care about dogs that can't talk.
I,
Why is like 20 minutes
I
of the
think the
movie
dog
dedicated to the dog?
the dog has this like delayed. I wouldn't even call it a delayed payoff because I don't think that there's a payoff. I think
No,
that
just dumb.
the if you want to be generous and you want to have a positive view of the dog's existence in this entire movie,
Dog
I think
apologist.
dog apologist.
Yeah.
I think the dog serves to show just how cynical and like burnt Huey and Frank are on uh the things that Michael wants to, reignite in them.
Mhm.
Like they laugh hysterically in the car when they're like, "Yeah, I just told our boss that this stray dog was my dog and he had the same name. What a fucking idiot." And like they're just so like crass and cruel about it.
Yeah.
Um,
I see. I can see that. I mean, that's definitely
but
a
the
factor.
real my real opinion is it's dumb. I don't really get the point of the dog.
Yeah,
I
and
was
I know you have
explaining this.
yeah.
I was explaining this to Lindsay because like after I watched it, she was like, "Oh, what did you think?" Like when I walked past at first, you looked like kind of revolted, and I was like, "Actually, I kind of liked it."
Mhm.
And then I tried to like give her a recap, and I was like, "I don't really need to mention the dog at all. The dog is like if you're summarizing this movie, the dog is kind of like pointless."
No, I would delete the dog from this movie. I know you have a dog, but I really I don't know. I'm kind of sick of dogs. My parents' dog barks a lot. Like it's kind of annoying to me. Jamie has pulled up a better example of how you do a dog in a movie. You see, Bolt did dogs right because they had John
Oh,
Travolta
yeah,
voice the dog.
yeah. That's
What if John
maybe
Travolta voiced
maybe
Sparky? Yeah, yeah, he did.
maybe Bolt is the culmination of Travolta's like passion for having dogs in film.
Yeah, I mean John Travolta was Bolt.
Does
That's awesome.
do you think Travolta owns a dog?
Nah, probably not. I know he owns a private jet. Did we review the the Grease Lightning credit card commercial on air?
I'd love to actually. Maybe that can be
Yeah,
our like that can be our breakup in between
yeah,
this episode and next episode.
yeah, we can maybe
Like
do it at the end.
when you guys switch to Phenomenon, that'll be our intro.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. The dog is just uh, they could have done so much else with the plot than have a I don't even want to talk about this dog anymore. It's just
Well,
dumb.
it is dumb, and I liked last episode how Travis gave his opinions on how he would fix the problems with
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Elfiller,
curious.
and I
I'm
think
curious how we'd fix this.
I could fix it really simply. I think you can leave the characters exactly the same.
Mhm.
Um, and the whole dynamic of like the boss thinking that Huey is an idiot and wants to fire him, but maybe Huey like gets some good leads or something.
Mhm.
Um, the Elaine character that only exists because of the dog, um, is just like a handler for them. Like they're like the boss doesn't want to send them on this trip without somebody watching them to make sure that they're not morons on the job, and that's the Elaine
What
character.
if what
And
if like what if Elaine Yeah, I think you're right. I'm trying to picture how I'd rewrite this because it is kind of dumb. She doesn't she doesn't actually like hurt them in any way because she just tells them like, "Oh, I was here to train the dog or something." What if
yeah,
instead Elaine was there like you said to be their handler, but what if she actually got dirt on them doing something kind of bad and then she was sending it back to the headquarters throughout their journey and then towards the end she has to admit that like the damage has already been done or something
yeah,
along those lines.
no, that would make it a lot better. Like by the time she falls in love with
Mm,
Frank and realizes that that her boss is kind of an ass and has this enlightenment because of Michael,
mm.
she's already done everything
Yeah.
again.
I feel like something like that would be better. And then you just
It'll
delete
be
the
more
dog.
compelling.
We don't need to have any dogs. I don't even know if do you think you even need Huey in this movie? I don't know if this guy did anything of
Well, yeah,
note.
if you get rid of the dog, Huey is then kind of unnecessary.
I feel like I would get rid of Huey and cast more charismatic leads because I just found them very I found all the characters other than Travolta to be very boring.
Well, here's a take for you.
Mhm.
Um, to the boomer, Huey is probably pretty compelling.
In what way?
His boss hates him and he's not good at his job.
Hmm.
He's kind of like a mess.
Yeah, I could see. I don't know. I just felt. I mean, you could leave Huey, and I just feel like I just feel like I need more charismatic
Oh,
characters.
I don't think Huey needs to stay. I just think a boomer view of this is probably a bit more like,
A
Huey's
boomer.
just down on his luck. He's got a family and a wife. He's probably more
Yeah,
compelling to a boomer.
I could see a boomer. I don't know. Maybe we need to do a series of interviews with boomers because I know, like I said, this movie had mixed reception. I think a lot of it because of how they. If you were a religious boomer, I
Oh, I
suspect
think you would hate this.
you would
Yeah,
not
I
like
think you
this.
would hate this. Yeah.
You would not like this movie. Yeah. The going back to that though. Well, maybe once we get into Travolta. Yeah, this was boring. I fell asleep. Why was their boss British? Um, they're getting a bunch of phone calls. I I can't even really recall anything that happened.
What other films are these guys in? Because
Nothing.
the guy who plays Huey looks really familiar, and the guy who plays
We can check.
Frank, yeah.
William Hurt movies. Looks like he was in a bunch of slop. He was in Marvel movies.
Oh, yuck. Oh,
He was
Robin
in The
Hood.
Incredible Hulk.
Oh,
Oh, brother.
oh.
Dude,
The
Robin Hood
Legend of
2010.
Sasquatch. That looks terrible.
Robin Hood 2010 is maybe the most boring movie I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, I think me, you, and Travis went to the theater to see that, and I thought
I
it.
want to say maybe we saw it together. I can't remember a single thing. Maybe I would consider it Kino now though. I don't.
Yeah, no, I think we were probably really young when that
You're
came
probably
out.
too
So
young. Yeah. He was in a lot, damn. Oh.
yeah, very prolific. You know what I will say about Michael, which I think is really funny. You know, when we do this, when we pull up an actor's reel and we just see like what they've been in,
Yeah.
Michael, the poster for Michael looks like a movie where you'd look at that and go, "Oh, okay, he was just in garbage."
Like John
Like,
Travolta.
oh, that's no, just like the
Oh,
poster itself. I mean, John Travolta's on the poster, but like the soft blur of the poster, the like it looks
oh
like it would
yeah.
be like trying to be wholesome. Yeah,
It
like
is.
that just looks like utter garbage. And the
It
dog's
has the
holding a
dog.
feather.
They really love that
Oh.
dog. I don't get it, man.
Probably somebody's actual dog. I bet it's like the director's dog.
Probably is. I don't know. Part of me I want to say resurrecting a dog is sacrilegious. I don't know enough about theology to justify that view, but it feels kind of like in the Bible, I think the main resurrections are obviously Jesus, but also Lazarus. I don't think there's talk of I guess in Christianity animals aren't considered to have souls. So
Yeah.
it feels that resurrecting one is a bit
I
blasphemous.
yeah. I I agree. I agree. I think it would have been it would have been a more serious, well,
Well, I don't think a person
I
could.
don't
Well,
want I don't want to call it a serious film,
it's
but
not.
I would take it more seriously if he didn't resurrect the dog.
Hmm. Hmm. We can talk about that when we get there, but yeah,
Yeah.
that could be an interesting turn. Because I don't think you could have. I think the other alternative I was thinking was a person dies and then they get resurrected, but I don't think this is that type of movie. I'm not that
Yeah,
type of
no.
movie.
I don't think that would have been a really wild turn
That would have been really bad. Yeah,
If
yeah.
Frank got hit by a car or something.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the dog being resurrected. Anyway, let's keep going. So I'll be honest, I fell asleep through all this part. Um, we
Oh
see
wait,
that.
I do have a comment. Wait, go back to where Michael's feet are shown.
Sorry, why are you asking me that?
I
Oh, you
like
mean
when I
yes,
was first
Jamie?
watching this, yeah, I thought that that somebody was hanging in her room.
Oh,
I was like, what the fuck? Because he does kind of look like he's dangling there with the way the
He
shadows
sort
are
of
falling.
he sort of does, yeah. Oh, jeez.
I was like, I
Um,
thought this movie was supposed to be funny. I was like, Jesus, 20 minutes in and somebody's hanging from the rafters.
that's that's a funny. If we had the drop where it's like, "You're gonna find me hanging from the bathroom." I don't know if you've seen that one with the Steelers fan raging.
Yeah.
So they're in a car driving. Oh, and there is I do also want to say clever foreshadowing. Earlier in the movie, Frank says, "Oh, that dog should just go out and get hit in the highway or something."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It shows his growth that he's sad about the dog at the end, but um, I'm not too compelled by the dog, tbh.
No. No.
So yeah, we have Michelle Pfeiffer in the back talking to them about.
I think we've called her like 3 different things and none of them are her character's name.
Oh, jeez. They're in like Iowa or something.
I looked this place up. It does exist. The Milk Bottle Inn. I think it's
The
like
milk
fallen
bottle
into
and
disrepair, but it exists.
possible bachelor party location. So they go, yeah. So this was the part where I woke up. They go into this inn, and I do just want to say the interior design is really like a shot of boomer opium. It really
Oh
brought me
yeah.
back to like what my grandparents' house used to look like.
I completely
That
agree.
that mid-90s interior decorating, really a lost era.
What do you think of the old lady?
I want to talk about her. She seemed she seems like a nice enough character, and like we said, he helps her with the financial troubles, which is nice. Um, I think the most interesting part is that she dies, which was kind of weird,
Yeah.
right? Like, what'd you think about that? Like, why did she
Yeah.
die right after meeting Michael? Because that's sort of is like he helps her from her financial troubles, but then she just dies.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to make of that. I mean, they kind of show her like hacking up a lung and barely being able to breathe.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. Maybe it gives your theory that he's a demon a little bit more.
I was gonna
Uh
say it sort of bolsters it. Like you invoked a demon, he helped you. Well,
and now you're paying
congratulations.
for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations, you're now dead.
Yeah.
It happens when she's breaking an egg. I don't know if there's any symbolism there. It might be above my pay
It's a
grade.
line that Michael says that I wanted to talk about.
Hmm.
You brought up the egg, so I feel like it's timely.
Yeah.
He's reading jokes in the back of the car,
Yeah.
and he goes, "What's the opposite of white?" And somebody in the car says black, and then Michael says no, yolk.
Yeah, that was really weird.
I'm gonna look that up and see if that's like
Is
from
there any
something.
analysis on that? I don't even know what to make of that. It's such a bizarre line.
Opposite of white. No, I think it's just an egg joke. It's just a really
Hmm.
stupid egg
An
joke.
egg joke. Well, the most esoteric thing I can think is that he's getting at to normal people, we might think of the opposite being a different outer appearance of something. So we'd consider black to be the opposite of white because it's a different outer appearance, but he's more introspective and he considers the inner appearance, like the yolk, to be the opposite of
Yeah,
the shell, as opposed to a black egg.
yeah.
So he might say that like different types of or like people look different. They're not the opposite. What's the opposite is
The
what's
opposite is like your
inside.
shadow, kind of.
Is inside. Yeah, I don't know. Weird line. And then she dies breaking an egg. Yeah, I guess you could read it that like he gave her some peace, at least peace financially before she died. But I'm kind of running with this idea that he's a demon. I actually was doing some like listening to podcasts and about like the ancient Greeks. So there was actually this idea of a daemon, which I think that's how it said.
Yeah.
These are different from what we'd think of as biblical demons. So this is just reading directly from Google. It's an ancient Greek concept of a guiding spirit, lesser deity, or divine power bridging gods and mortals. It evolves from a personal inner voice. So Socrates considered that he had his own daemon that guided him. And then it's basically like a personal spirit that guides you. And I think I read that they can actually like dissipate when they're done, according to ChatGPT, which is similar to what happens to Travolta. Like he seems
Yeah.
more in line. He seems more in line with this, something that is guiding them through this spiritual journey, as opposed to a traditional biblical angel. I don't know.
What do you make of I think this is more common now than ever before, but like this presentation of an angel in this case, and you're giving it a toolkit of like the entire like other myths and like other things that are outside of traditional angels purview.
Mhm.
Like what do you think about that?
Elaborate more on what you're asking.
Like it's almost like they're not to say a buzzword, but it's almost like
You can use this is budword. You can use buzzwords on this podcast.
it's almost like a byproduct of globalism. Like we have an angel here and he's
Ah,
doing
jeez,
something
dude.
that he's doing something that's more in line with this like concept of a daemon like you bring up from
Mhm,
um another faith,
mhm,
if you will.
mhm,
Um and I don't think that like my initial instinct isn't that it's bad. It's just it kind of like dilutes the presentation a bit.
So I think yeah, it's an interesting question. I think that um, maybe it's maybe it's like a less fundamental view of religion. It's
Yeah, yeah. It's
maybe
it's
it's
more
more for an
it's like it's
audience that's open to pulling from different cultures.
yeah, like
And that's
it's less a Christian presentation, more of a spiritual
Yeah,
presentation.
fundamentalists would hate this. I actually was learning about. I was actually deep diving a lot of spiritual traditions recently. Trying. I've actually. My new thing is trying to figure out the nature of reality. So there's actually this one faith that the actor that plays Dwight from The Office is. It's called Baha'i. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's
I've
it's
heard
sort
of
of an
it.
interest. It's sort of an interesting religion because it's literally just a grab bag of every major world religion. They just take the parts they like and kind of combine it all into one. So I feel like this depiction of an angel that's sort of not a traditional angel is maybe directed more at an audience open to a less like puritanical audience. Though I'm curious what the breakdown of people that is.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I completely forgot about that. Um,
Mhm.
I do think that that fits. That is kind of like I guess it's not, yeah, it's not a spiritual interpretation, it's a Baha'i
Mhm,
interpretation.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just like one of that's just like one example of a way of thinking that's more open. I
I'm
do.
surprised that that's not wildly popular.
I can pull it. I wouldn't say this movie's like strictly Baha'i. It's just like sort of
No,
makes
it's
me.
just that if you
It
wanted
just
to
makes
put it into a bucket somehow, it
yeah,
would be
maybe
it would
something
be
there. Yeah, they see Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha as all messengers of God. They're not really too doctrinal. Global peace and justice. Definitely seems like they're maximizing their odds of
It does seem that way. You play, what's the line? It's like, I play both sides, so I always come out on top. That's
yeah,
what they're doing.
they're betting on all they're betting. It's I don't know if you've heard of like Pascal's wager, but it's like it's sort
Yeah.
of like Pascal's like gambit. It's
Oh my god, that's funny.
I simply bet on everything. Maybe I'll convert to this. I mean, you can't go wrong. They just need to throw Xenu in.
Yeah, no, that they're really not that inclusive. Think about all the wealthy donors they could have if
Yeah,
they pulled
yeah,
Xenu in.
yeah.
This is unbelievably great. So it's three of the hottest new dolls. Yes, that's right. La Boobas. And they're in a place to get your delicateness with quickliness. Of course, yes, McDonald's. And you see they're doing the number everyone is saying, and they're moving their arms. By Jove, you've got it. It's 6-7, 6-7.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
All right, we're back. We don't have any products to shill for you now, but please pick up Man's Best Friend. We got tracks such as Man Child, Sugar Talkin', Never Getting Laid.
Go
Is
go
that a real?
juice.
Is that a Sabrina Carpenter song? I can't imagine she would
I
write that.
think so.
Okay. Goodbye. Oh, yeah. And My Man on Willpower, which is actually what I've been referring to myself as in some of these intros.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
anyway. So let's get back to Michael. So I think we're introduced to we see Michael for the first time here, and it's interesting. But I think yeah,
No, no, I'll let you keep going.
I was gonna say. So I think we talked a bit about how this is not in line with Christianity. Let's put all that aside. This has been a debate going back to Plato and Homer. So let's just say we don't care about an accurate depiction.
Okay.
The question is it a good thing, or should we not depict the gods as anything other than perfect? And for context, the issue was that in the Iliad, which I think you've read, and just a lot of the
Yeah.
Greek myth, the gods are depicted as sometimes awful. They're sometimes depicted as capricious, vain, lustful. Like kind of like just humans, but with more power. And Plato actually hated this because he said the gods should be depicted only as perfect. Because his whole thing was the realm of like the forms and the higher existence. So he thought the gods should be something far above humanity and not brought down to their level. What's your opinion? Do you think we should depict them as perfect or as human?
Well, to go back to the Iliad and just in general Greek myth, I think that the context matters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you hold a belief that the gods are kind of kindred spirits with the earth and they all kind of have their realm over the earth,
Mm-hmm.
um, you could describe the earth and nature as like perfectly imperfect.
I see.
And I think that that kind of plays into the interpretation of gods can be kind of wicked because a rainstorm can be wicked. A rainstorm can wipe out a
Mm,
town,
mm, mm,
but that doesn't make nature less beautiful. However,
mm.
or I guess putting that aside, Christianity does not have that.
No,
The divine is not an extension of earth or
absolutely not. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
so I don't think that it is good to depict them as kind
Mm.
of down on their luck dirtbags.
That's actually a really profound point. I think yeah, because in maybe if it was like a yeah, I think if it was a pagan god, it would make more sense. But maybe that's why I feel that it doesn't really where I have an issue with it because Christianity actually um like you mentioned, people people think that Christianity had I don't know, made us more superstitious or something, but actually the effect was largely it ultimately led to the like secularism and materialism because like you said, Christian doctrine is that nothing in the world is sacred, basically.
Yeah.
I took a course on the Vikings, or which is a bit of a, I mean, it's kind of a meme term, but what you'd say like the Norse or the
Yeah.
Scandinavians in the Middle Ages, and in their religions, and really in a lot of maybe almost every other religion, the world itself is it's alive. It's spiritual. The animals are messengers of the gods. The very land is mystical, and there's spirits, and there's not like a hard boundary between the divine and our world. But Christianity said no, the divine is some complete other realm. All of our world is just it's just matter. It's there's nothing
I
special.
do.
Yeah.
That is a really interesting like point that you brought up about how it kind of made us more secular. Because how do you have reverence for anything if your experience on Earth is not worth revering? Like how do you? I don't know. I do kind of see it like if you're not awestruck by the natural world.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm also I'm not the most religious person, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be a bad
No, I mean your
person
takes
to.
are still that even possibly more interesting because of that. They're not really biased, but it is like it did. I do think our modern materialism is sort of it is sort of a relic of the church in recent centuries because it's a situation where um, the church said the world is not sacred. There's nothing special about the world. There's the divine. And then if your belief in the exact Christian doctrine of the divine depends on um, biblical literalism, like I actually also learned this too, like the idea of taking the stories in the Bible completely literally was like or like things like like young Earth creationism where they think the Earth's like 6,000 years old and like Noah Ark
Mhm.
taking the to the letter biblical literalism is actually very new. It's something that's only come about, I think, in like the past few centuries through a series of I don't know what was going on in the church, but it used to, if you read like very old Christian scholars, they have much more nuanced views on faith, and they try and interpret the stories. So I think we
I,
ended up in a situation. Yeah.
oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that that is really interesting because I think
Yeah.
when you look at like Islam and Judaism, I do think that there's quite a few, like when you think of sacred texts for Christianity, it's obviously the Bible. And
Mhm.
if you asked a real theologian, there's probably some other texts written, period texts that would give you like more
Mhm.
context and
Yeah.
would be on that level. But I
Mhm.
do think with Islam in particular, I uh, I took a course on the history of
Mhm.
Islam.
Yeah.
So uh, um,
It's good to
there's a
know about.
lot of
Interesting.
there's a lot of like interpretations are on the same level as like the divine text,
Mhm.
which I feel is a completely alien concept to uh like you're saying, this like new literal interpretations of the Bible.
Biblical literalism as a widespread movement grew in the 19th and 20th centuries. So very recent.
Yeah.
It was as a defensive reaction to the rise of scientific criticism, evolutionary theory, and the Enlightenment on rationalism, which challenged the biblical. So it seems like it seems like it was as a product of like a time and a place, they decided to just weirdly double down on literalism. So I think I kind of it seems like the moment we are at in history is the church said the world is not sacred, but the divine realm is, and then they said the existence of the divine realm depends on taking every story in the Bible literally. And now that kind of paved the way for secularism and materialism, which I predict will probably not last. I think it's sort of I think what we find ourselves in is like a product of our time and place.
I agree.
But yeah, I do kind of going back to the point. I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know if it sits right with me depicting an angel as doing all these things wrong. The other thing I wanted to ask is what talk. I guess in terms of like how to fix this movie or what I would do differently. Like, what do you think about the fact that he has the wings already at this point? I was trying to think what would the movie be like if it wasn't as clear that he was an actual angel and maybe just more like a quirky character that could do possibly miracles. I don't know. It seems like it takes a bit of the intrigue out.
It does. It does. I think I didn't really think about that, to be honest, but I do think that it probably would have made the movie a bit more interesting if he didn't have wings
Mhm.
and he just kept telling them that he was an angel and they were just like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then he just kind of kept proving them wrong and then eventually revealed his wings.
Yeah, it was just weird because throughout the movie they're wondering, is he an actual angel? It's like he obviously is. Maybe they thought the wings were fake. I don't know,
They
but him
did.
having
They
wings is
did, but yeah, it's kind of like, what do you if you can't see that the wings are like strapped on over his arms, it's like pretty obvious.
uh yeah,
I
it's
I
kind of
do I do want to make one more point on the presentation though. I don't know at what point it started. I do think that it's a cultural moment, not in the film, but um, I do think it's pretty common these days where you have somebody who like really fucks their life up and really, I don't know, maybe they go to jail, maybe their wife or their girlfriend leaves them, maybe they like lose their job, and then they like become really spiritual.
hmm hmm
And so there you have the like dirtbag religious guy.
hmm
And I don't know if 1996 that that like cultural artifact existed, but I think maybe that could be the appeal. Um, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Maybe. Are you saying that people would
Would resonate with him because of his
He's-
presentation.
Mm. So a situation where something you're down on your luck, you get dumped, maybe that's what I was getting at before, but you're in your mom's attic drinking beer and then you see this depiction and maybe it resonates with you. Is that what you're
Yeah, yeah, I think
I
that's
could
kind of what I'm
definitely
getting at.
see I definitely see that, but I felt
I
like
don't
the
think that
90s
makes it
pretty,
good. I'm just trying to
yeah.
understand it.
I felt that the 90s were pretty good times though. I don't know if there'd be that many down on their luck
Yeah,
people.
that feels like a 2000s thing,
Or a
like
post
2010s.
post 2000 or post like recession. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't it's a weird movie, man. It's really weird. I
I did when I finished this movie, I was thinking like this is an urban cowboy level interesting movie.
yeah. Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It's one of those movies that I don't yeah, I struggle to know what I think about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I have a
that's
lot
how
of
I felt about Urban
mixed
Cowboy. It took me our whole discussion for me to say like, oh, this is a really unique movie. But
it is very unique.
I will give it credit. The weird things that we talked about on the intro, the fact that they work for this like shitty rag news site that like peddles like conspiracy
Uh
theories, like that is a really interesting like premise. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
these guys on like the fringe of journalism and they like find a real angel. I don't know. I think that
It is somewhat interesting. They would be it would be as if BuzzFeed is BuzzFeed even still a thing? But
I
I'm
actually
imagining
don't. That's a great question. Oh my
I
god.
thought they I wanna no, it still exists.
You got
Whoa. Sydney Sweeney finally broke her silence on the American Eagle controversy.
whoa.
I was not prepared for how hard I'd laugh at. Yeah, I gotta say, I prefer Sabrina Carpenter to Sydney Sweeney,
Oh yeah.
though her appearance on Jimmy Kimmel was legendary.
6'7".
This is unbelievably great. A grown man saying about three Labubus.
Oh god.
Well,
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
so they talk in the motel after they met Michael. What do you think about he kind of holds his fork weird when he eats. He eats a bit like a baby.
He does.
Do you think
I
what do you think's going on here?
I didn't really know what to make of that. I think I'd have to think about it more, but for my gut take is what the fuck is this?
Just AI
What the
slop. It's
fuck
just
is this? Oh my god.
just except you're gonna get
Holy
some
shit.
slop. Except you're gonna
Woo.
get. Don't worry, we'll be able to prompt our own and create our own video games in like 2 years. It's gonna be awesome. We're just gonna have to deal with some slop on the way.
Um I kind of my quick reaction would be like he's kind of new to being a human.
Mm. He's a bit
Uh,
childlike, or
yeah.
maybe baby-like. I think you're
What do
getting
you
all. Oh shit! I shouldn't play the actual clip. Whatever. Yeah,
what
he's
do you
really.
think about it? What do you think about his
I think
obsession
you're.
with sugar also?
I think this is maybe another point I want to get into. I think you're right that he's a bit I mean, he looks like a big baby. he's,
Overall.
he's in
Uh,
overalls. Maybe that's like the innocence of
I
being.
don't think it's I don't think putting you in the company of human babies is necessarily, well, when I put it like that it sounds bad, but from an
Mhm,
innocence perspective I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing.
mhm. I guess he eats sugar. The, the, this is such a complicated movie
Yeah,
because
no, it is. It is. I'm having like 8 different thoughts at the same time
I know
about.
I can feel my brain going into feedback loops trying to think about it. Here's what I'm my partial thought right now. One interpretation is that oh fuck this AI creator course, man. I'm looking at this
That
ad on
looks
the
so
bottom.
cursed. Oh my god.
So part of the movie is Michael is taking part in the human experience, which I think is what
Mhm.
my dad was sort of getting at. He liked that Michael was appreciating the simple pleasures of life, such as drinking alcohol, smoking cigs, and cereal. And on some level, I get that he's um, embracing even the maybe like indulgent parts of humanity that he
Yeah.
doesn't get to do in heaven, or taking parts in the little things that we do that might not necessarily be the best for us. But I think the issue is that he doesn't have to suffer the consequences, which is maybe why I have a sort of negative view of this, because he can get away with smoking and drinking and sleeping with all sorts of women and eating healthy because
His
an
like
ethereal.
corporeal form isn't even
He's
really real.
Yeah, his corporeal form doesn't matter. He can't get cancer or get heart disease, and so it's not. So he's not really authentically engaging in the human experience. I think it just feels like it'd be more powerful if he had an actual body, because he's like,
You're
I
right. It
don't know
is
what,
kind of
like,
the
what am I supposed
positive.
to take from it?
Yeah, the positive can't exist without the negative, I feel.
Like,
In those.
if somebody's going around, I don't know, like just he's going around smoking cigarettes, and it's presented as haha, I'm engaging in a human, we smoke and drink. And then I think the problem is audience members might think, oh, look at him engaging in that wholesome aspect of humanity. I'm gonna smoke a pack of Newports, or I'm gonna eat Frosted Flakes every day. But if you're a human and you do that, you will sacrifice your health and
Yeah.
die early. So I
Yeah.
don't. That's my issue. That's my issue with it, which is really
Yeah.
complicated.
It is very complicated. I completely agree.
Mhm. Like, what if Michael had to suffer? I'm not even joking. The effects of decades of smoking. I think that would be a more interesting movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
An angel has to suffer because
The
he can just
human experience.
because he on some, it just, I don't know if it, I just have an issue with it, because on some level he is engaging with humanity, but he's also and getting to experience what it's like to be human, but at the same level he's not.
But yeah, there's no. I feel like
Humans can't
consequences
Yeah.
in
Humans
this
can't attract 40 women to dance around
in
you.
yeah.
That's why I think he might be like a demon,
The
because he's engaging in.
externalities are like critical to the human experience. Like
Mhm,
you, I mean, you don't enjoy drinking because it is like, you're hungover the next day. That's not part of the enjoyment,
mhm.
but that is part of the not like
It's part of the
that's
experience.
if you're cracking a few cold ones, a few too many, you are, you know, you're like borrowing
Yeah.
joy from the next day. And I think
Mhm.
everybody's acutely aware of that when you're in it. And I don't think that, to your point, that you can really have that you can't have the positive without the negative.
No. It's like he's going to an amusement park of humanity's greatest experiences without having to suffer the downside.
Yeah.
When when Jesus, in the Bible, when Jesus came to earth, it was not a pleasant experience. It was actually really horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a way of God partaking fully in human suffering. And yeah, that's why I
There
sort of have
doesn't
an
seem to be much suffering happening for Michael.
no, no. He didn't die in the worst possible way.
Even when he dies, it does seem kind of blissful, like he's kind of just fading
He just
away.
he just fades away. I think he's God, this is
I'm
such a
I'm not.
complicated movie.
Yeah. I'm not. I think your theory holds water. I do. I don't. I'm not gonna say that he isn't a demon.
Mhm. Mhm. Maybe we can revisit it at the end.
Yeah.
Do you think Travolta should have been more muscular here, or like less fat? What do you think?
Uh.
I don't know. I
Well,
kind of like that he's a bit chubbier.
he's like kind of like brawny, right? Like he's
Yeah,
not
he,
jacked,
he
but
seems
he's
like a big
not.
farm boy.
Yeah.
Super-
I think that presentation's fine. I think that's pretty
Yeah,
American.
I like I was like Travolta. This is so weird. I don't know. I'm gonna thinking about this symbolism all day. The egg is broken.
She broke her yoke.
Maybe her soul's free.
Maybe. Yeah, no, I think you're right about the. Yeah, she breaks the yolk. I think for all the other people that she's making eggs for, I think they ask for it over easy, so the yolk doesn't break, and then she breaks that yolk, and then she dies.
Mm. There's
Or
a lot of
sticky.
egg. There's a lot of. I do want to do an episode on the movie Angel Heart. There's a lot of egg symbolism there. What was the hell was that quote?
The
Sorry.
joke from earlier, or a
No,
quote
no,
from
no. There's
Angel
a
Heart?
quote from the movie Angel Heart about an egg. Oh yeah, this is esoteric as hell. Here we go. You know, some religions think that the egg is the symbol of the soul. Did you know that? No, I didn't know that. Would you like an egg? No, thank you. I got a thing about chickens. There's a whole yeah, no, this is all coming back. In the movie Angel Heart, there's a whole bunch of symbols about chickens and eggs as souls.
Mm.
All right, so I'm just gonna go with the egg. The egg represents her soul and is whatever.
That's an interesting quote. I really like that.
Hmm. I mean, we all do start as an egg, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually fucking insane to think about. But they play actually a really nice rendition of Ave Maria on the guitar in the funeral scene, and I did kind of like it when they asked Travolta. They say, "Hey, is she in a better place right now?" And he says, "That's not my area."
I wrote that down in my notes. Um I wrote that down with 3 question marks.
Yeah,
Heaven isn't his
weird.
area.
That's why I think he might be a demon, right? Because it's like heaven's not his area.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna say he's not a demon.
He's not been confirmed to be not a demon. All right. Very interesting. Check if I had any more notes before this.
I think the next scene that is well, I think they after this they get in the car. What did he say here about Mesopotamia?
Oh, he said something about does Mesopotamia still do something, and then he said Mesopotamia is not around anymore. So I think he's been to Earth a few times before.
Yeah. That was an interesting exchange.
He's sort of
Um
yeah. Do you think he
uh,
knows he's not gonna make it to the building in Chicago?
I think he does, yeah.
Mhm.
Because he
I agree.
knows that he already had the foresight to say like you will apologize and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
will
I think he knows. Yeah, he has some conversations with them, sort of like we talked about. He gets a sense of what they are and can see where things are going.
Well, yeah, she does warn him there that like they're gonna exploit you for like
Mhm.
newspaper ads or
Yeah.
whatever, and he's just like, it's fine.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's
Yeah.
from like the lower reaches of hell. He doesn't. So there.
um.
Yeah, yeah.
What do they? Is this the scene where they sing a song, or is that the next scene, or the next time they're all in the car
Might be the
together?
next time. I know he sings a Beatles song. I think there was a funny joke where he said something about John and Paul, and then he actually
Yeah.
referring to the Beatles. I think I actually laughed at that.
Um. So they're going to the yarn ball.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
do like it. Yeah. Oh well.
before I like when I was taking notes live, at first I thought the yarn ball itself was going to be significant. I don't know if it is. Because my like I was saying earlier, I think my interpretation of his like obsession with like world's biggest whatever
Mhm,
is more from like a look at these odd things that humanity's done. But did you
mhm.
have a different interpretation of like why he is kind of enamored by these like world's biggest X?
Yeah, I was. I'm not. I think one thing I was thinking about was he's not. Yeah, again my brain is firing on all cylinders here because it's not. It's like it's something man-made that he's interested in, but
It
there's
does tie
something.
into our conversation earlier. He's not really obsessed with anything natural. It's all just like
No, but it's not even really
creations
works
of
of art
man.
either. It's sort of
No.
it's industrial.
Yeah.
The it's something made in a factory. It's a yarn ball or a pan or a big office building. It's a bit weird, is it not? Would you
It
not think
is.
he'd want to see the Grand Canyon or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Mona Lisa or something along those lines?
That would actually be a much better premise for the movie on the whole if they just completely abandon the whole thing. They're completely enamored by him and they take him to the Grand Canyon and the
Mm-hmm.
redwood forest and like all these
Mm.
like beautiful things.
Because I think that what I was saying earlier about the idea of there being something on Earth more beautiful than in heaven was really nice, but it's also in this movie it's sort of they're kind of just quirky manufactured objects. It would be more powerful if I don't know, imagine he just wants to see I don't know. Pick random beautiful part of America before he has to go
Yeah,
back to heaven. I think that would be
more
yeah,
compelling.
like if he wanted to see the Grand Canyon or like I don't the Pacific Coast or something.
Yeah.
It's that would because you think about like of everything you could do, like all the nature documentaries talking with like David Attenborough talking about how beautiful our planet is, and John Travolta wants to see a bunch of yarns. In
In Iowa of all places.
Iowa.
I think every state has something beautiful to offer, but I think you'd probably be hard pressed to find something beautiful in Iowa.
um, if you well, you know, even in Iowa, imagine the cornfields at a sunrise being like an
Yeah.
ocean.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something beautiful everywhere, but it's yeah, it's just something just sits a little weird with me, you know.
Yeah, no, it is odd. I think the interaction after this is really funny and also like so strange. I love that he sees the bull and like instinctively wants to like battle,
Mhm,
but
mhm, mhm,
um I think the dialogue's interesting. So they square up. He charges into the bull.
mhm.
Kind of unclear who wins, but when Frank goes
A bit
over
of a
to him,
draw.
when Frank goes
Yeah.
over to him, he says he's completely happy.
Mm,
That's such an interesting way to say that you're happy. Like
mhm.
you're not going into like you're not saying you're like overjoyed or you're like using some expression. You're saying completely happy.
Completely happy. Is that what he really? I am
Yeah.
completely happy. Huh. Interesting.
It's like his whole being is happy.
Hmm.
I thought that that was
Yeah, I don't
worth.
know if I've ever heard anyone say I am completely happy before.
Yeah, I've definitely never heard that.
I am completely happy.
This
Have
movie's
you
a
ever been
treasure trove.
completely happy?
Uh, I think so. Maybe once or twice.
Yeah, I think maybe once or twice for me as well.
Completely happy is so it's such an
Sorry, I'm
interesting
having an existential crisis right now.
idea. Well, there's moments where you can be happy, but then there's other moments where if you like completely happy, it's almost like your body's like a vessel to be filled with happiness and you're full, you know?
I can think of about maybe once. Where just like it's like a I've been amused, I've felt joy, but to complete a complete lack of want, as if a moment couldn't get any better.
Yeah.
Huh.
And he's
Well,
saying that about you know, a draw with a bull.
He loves
That
battle.
is, yeah, he loves battle. I mean,
The
I don't,
bull.
you don't want to say that's his purpose, but that's one of his purposes.
Yeah. Maybe this goes. I guess this would be an argument of him being a truly angelic figure, because as we know, the bull is not a
Yeah,
good.
the
It's not a
bull
good
is evil.
seed.
Yeah,
Though the bull
they
did
did find it. They
represent.
did find a really good, like the bull itself is
Yeah, I don't know how they
very
shot this, but
memorable.
it actually
I have no
looks pretty
idea.
damn good.
Yeah,
Like,
it looked really great.
even when his head hits the bull, it looks pretty like convincing. I don't know if they had like a prop bull or something. I don't know. It was really surprisingly good. Yeah. The
Completely
movie
happy.
does
That's gonna sit with me for a while now.
what what's gonna say I couldn't hear you.
Oh, being completely
Oh.
happy.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go sit in a chair and look at a wall for 4 hours. Try and think about, yeah, maybe once or twice, but maybe that's all you get in life. Anyway, let's talk about
Oh, there is something else that
oh,
there is something else that I wanted to talk about. Um, I think it's right in that scene. Um, Michael recites like a parable.
uh-huh.
I don't know if you remember this, but I wrote notes. I don't think I got it 100%, but he says,
I don't remember this. You can.
"The north wind bets the sun that it can get a man to take his coat
Oh, I
off.
remember this.
The sun takes the bet. The north wind blows and blows, and the man clings to his coat. The sun shines brighter, and the man gets hot, and he takes off his coat."
This is a very beautiful parable.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually I think I paused the movie at that point, and I just kind of let that simmer for a while.
Mm. This movie's really slapping, I guess. It's really hitting the emotional strings,
Yeah,
despite its quirky. Yeah, yeah. Really makes you think. I don't have anything to add to it. I mean, yeah, it's very nice.
it is very nice. Yeah.
You write Psalm 85, blah blah. Yeah, if you read the Bible, you should read the Book of Psalms. I would highly recommend the Book of Psalms.
This I mean, this is an absolutely fucking ridiculous thing to say, but this movie made me want to read the Bible.
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah, you should definitely read the Bible.
I've
Young
read like passages a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I mean,
I'm a confirmed Catholic, but I really didn't. It really didn't uh, hit you or hit me. Like I would say it's Jung would probably refer to the Bible as archetypically significant.
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
definitely read the main stories in the Old Testament and the
Well,
Gospels.
when you were getting confirmed, did they make you read the Bible?
You know, we had to know prayers, and we did get some tests on the Bible, and I don't I think I'm more so it was more so you read summaries of the Bible and you listened to it in church, but I think you're too young to understand the Bible when you're like 10. It just went through one ear and out the other, but there's
Yeah.
some I mean there's some parts of the Bible that are just like it just like hit you at the level of your soul. Like
My
some of the Psalms like will make you cry.
my dad, who is, I would go as far as to say, like, anti-religion,
Mhm.
has read the Bible probably 4 or 5 times. And
Mm.
I think if you asked, I mean, he might say like some Isaac Asimov thing, but I think that's probably his favorite book.
I think it probably is there's a reason they call it the good book. Maybe we should we should turn the podcast into a Bible study.
Well, I think
You
I
know,
mean, it's a really deep well to be able to draw
I
from.
mean the myth. They're ancient. There's some of like the most ancient myths embedded in the psyche, and they do. I'm sort of the Jordan Peterson opinion that the the Jordan Peterson has a quote where he says, "The world isn't made of matter; it's made of what matters."
That's really
So,
interesting.
I think myth is like possibly more real than matter. This we
I
can
would,
save this for our Bible study course, but yeah,
well, now I have something interesting to bring up.
yeah.
I mean, I guess we should talk about the movie eventually, but I
I mean, that's
used
what
to
the
have this,
podcast is for. Is
yeah, I used to have this debate in college with one of my friends who was very religious.
yeah.
Um, we we were really close friends at the time, but
Mhm.
um, we would always say like, um, I would tell him, you don't need to be religious to be a good person, and he would say like, okay, what is a good person to you? And
Yeah.
I would speak to my virtues, and
Mhm.
he would say, well, you're describing virtues as laid out in the Bible. You're religious and you don't even
Mm, mm,
or you're what's the yeah you're virtuous in the way that you would only be virtuous if the Bible existed. If the Bible didn't
mhm.
exist, your virtues would not exist. And I mean, we would have these conversations like piss drunk in our dorms, but I think it's an interesting idea,
It
right?
is very interesting.
And I don't even know what side I'd fall on now, but
I think it's a very
um,
complicated question.
it's a very complicated question.
I I don't know if there's a clear I don't know if there's a correct answer. I
Oh,
would say, in my opinion, sorry, my brain is firing every single cylinder and piston. I feel that you could be a good person without religion, but I think the major world religions are sort of a like they're like a pre-packaged set of intuitions
hmm
collected over thousands of years. So I think it's like not everyone is equipped to be a spiritual, or it's sort of like not everyone can go on this big spiritual journey and figure out all this stuff by themselves. Like for a lot of people it's nice to have a pre-packaged set of
Yeah,
ideas. Even
yeah.
and even even so for me, just I mean just read the New Testament, and some of the things that Jesus says are they're so counterintuitive yet true, and they really do hit you. Like he has one story. There's one story in the Gospels where Jesus recounts a parable of a man who was a I don't know if a plantation owner is the right. He owned a farm or something, and he
Yeah.
hires workers to work on the farm. And he says, if you work on my farm, I will pay you 10 pieces of silver or something like that. So some people go to the farm in the morning and work all day, and some people show up at the very last minute to work and pitch in only for a few minutes. And the owner of the plantation is giving out the silver, and he gives the people that showed up last the full 10 pieces of silver, and he gives the people who worked all day the same 10 pieces of silver. And intuitively you'd think that's really not right, right?
Yeah.
But he says, but then Jesus says, well, the farmer's right, because the last shall be first and the first shall be last.
Wow.
And it's very counterintuitive, but there's like nuggets of wisdom like that. You'll have to
Yeah.
think for a few hours about that story. But yeah, there's a lot of lessons to be learned in the religions, and I do think it
But
in the
that's kind of my view is like I think that there's probably like a good bit to be learned from a number of them.
yeah.
And I took a class on I mean I probably got like an inch deep into each like major religion, but
Yeah.
I feel like I walked away from that thinking like, oh, there's probably a lot to be taken away from each one. But
Yeah.
I do think in terms of what did you call it earlier?
Gibbity?
Like Skippy. In terms of like a prepackaged set of myths and virtues, I do think that um like the Bible and kind of like Christianity, it covers a lot of bases.
Yeah. I think a lot of the religions may also be, sort of describing the same thing in different words.
Yeah.
I think you have to just I've actually been going into some of the Hindu texts. Those are really fascinating. Like some of their beliefs. I think they might sort of be right. I just think yeah, I think there's a lot to be gained from all of them. I think it's just sorting out like what's BS and what's not. Like I think if you read the
Yeah.
Bible, assuming like you'll take like every single bit of doctrine literally, um, I don't think that's the right way to do it. I mean, I think ultimately, like no one knows for sure the answers to like why what's even going on. But I think I think there's a lot of wisdom to be taken. I definitely recommend reading the Bible.
Oh yeah. No,
And
I definitely feel like I need to now. I do.
you got to read the Book of Job. That's one of the videos I had up. I read Carl Jung's book on he wrote a book called The Answer to Job. It's he writes his commentary on a Bible story. It's really fascinating. There was in the story of Job, you have a virtuous man, Job, who does everything right and worships God, and then God makes a deal with the devil that Job will not lose faith even despite any hardship he throws at him. So God plagues his crops, burns down Job's village, kills his entire family, and then Job holds his faith through all of it and is rewarded at the end. It's a very powerful story.
Interested to hear
Anyway,
Young's analysis on that.
oh, it's it's wild.
I'm
It's
sure.
it's quite dark actually.
Yeah, I can imagine if it's Young, I'm sure it's dark.
I do also want to do a whole series on Jung on the podcast. Too much. I gotta quit my job so I
Too
can
much.
get full time.
Yeah, I know. There's too much stuff to talk about.
Just get your job into a place where you can quiet quit. Anyway, let's get back to Travolta. We're never gonna finish this. Okay, so he eats a bunch of sugar. I don't know. What do we?
I thought this scene was hilarious. The fact that the waitress is like completely enamored by him. This dance scene is so funny.
I love the dance scene. It's so awesome.
I like that they pulled on a song that's it's kind of soulful.
I actually really like the song.
The song is great. I listened to it a couple times.
I really
over
like
the
the
week.
dance scene. I actually watching all these Travolta movies has made me want to take dance lessons because
he just it looks like he's I can't think of any other actor who I would like I could see dancing and think like, wow, that just looks so right.
it looks so. No man should be so limber and everything he does just looks right.
even like the silly stuff, like he shakes his ass in that last scene that Jamie
Yeah.
had up, and it doesn't like, I think if any other actor did that, I'd be like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah,
And like this
Travolta.
whole
Yeah,
thing where he's like
looks right.
reaching his hands up to the light, it is
Oh,
just it is incredible.
and Travolta, he might just be the finest actor of in American history. I don't... Yeah. Could Timothy Chalamet dance like this? I don't think so.
I'd love to see a Chalamet remake of every single Travolta movie.
I mean, Chalamet can sing, but can he strut his stuff like Travolta? I don't know. There's this fight scene. I found it really boomer. I don't really have anything to say about it.
Yeah, the fights. I think it would have been better if Frank didn't get involved in the fight.
Yeah, Frank's just so slow and and boomery.
Well, it's also like it would have been one thing if Michael just like wrecked the entire bar. Like I think that I don't know, like
Yeah,
to
'cause he
put
could.
to put like a human in the company of an angel in a fight scene just feels silly.
Because yeah, Frank's like not like all powerful in the same way as Michael.
Yeah.
They're in a jail cell, which sort of reminds me of the end. I don't know if you saw the ending of Seinfeld, but they end up in jail.
I don't think I've seen that the last
Mm.
episode. No.
It was kind of shitty, but whatever. They talk in jail. I know they mentioned their dog. What is this? What even happens here? Does he apologize to her about something?
Oh yeah, he like makes fun of her for like the third ex-husband, and she starts to cry, and then Travolta's like, now you apologize."
That's very nice.
Hmm.
This was weird. He like
Oh yeah. I didn't really I didn't really I don't like that it got like really close up on her and then
she
just
just he's just sitting like like a Sigma with the chair in front of him.
yeah.
He just goes back to her chambers a little. You know
A
what?
little questionable.
At this point, it's just that type of movie. I like that all the women are like swooning over him. Has
Wouldn't
has
be
John?
a Travolta movie without him being completely irresistible to
I was
women.
gonna ask, has there ever been a Travolta movie where he doesn't just where all the women don't fall head over heels for him?
No, it's probably written into his contract, man. He's got to be a heartthrob in whatever movie he's in.
The
This is
heart.
just like a really funny way of doing it. Oh, I
I mean,
also there's a point like we already went way past it where they like address the fact that he's irresistible to women, and
Mm.
he's like, I think Elaine is like, well, why am I not attracted to you? And he's like, oh, I turned it off on you.
Mm. I actually, I was asking ChatGPT. They often say he smells like cookies or something and I think the idea is that he smells like something from childhood. ChatGPT
Yeah.
was telling me about this term called anamnesis, which was in Platonic philosophy as a remembering of things from a supposed previous existence.
Yeah, I think the one scene in the bar, all the girls are like, "Oh, he smells like I forget what the other examples are, but yeah, I think Elaine keeps saying like cookies."
But it's like it's something different to each of them. So maybe
Yeah.
it's I wonder if it actually is different to each of them, or if it is some
Wait,
platonic.
there was a Google question that you just closed out of, or Jamie just closed out of. It's what
Yeah.
is amnesis in the Catholic Church?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, let's get into that.
It is a liturgical statement in Christianity in which the church refers to the memorial character of the Eucharist or to the Passion.
Did
I
Jesus
don't know how
exist?
this relates to the term of it being like a maybe it's not. It might be above my pay grade.
Hmm.
I don't know. But what I was gonna say is I wonder if he actually does smell different to each of them, or if he smells the same to all of them, but it's some sort of scent that only exists in the platonic realm that they've never actually smelled before, so they're all trying to describe it in the same way.
That's interesting.
I think that would be a more interesting thing. Like it's something you can
And it's
sort
only the
of
women too.
yeah, it's like
Like they
something you
don't.
can sort of remember, but you've never
Yeah.
actually experienced it. And then he goes and does the nasty with her in a
Yeah, that was crazy.
they go on a car ride. He sings the Beatles. He sings "All You Need Is Love." I think the message is fairly clear from that.
Yeah,
Welcome to Illinois.
I was grinning ear to ear when they were in the car, all joining in song. I
I do
don't.
like, yeah, it's nice. I do like that he says like what I forget if it's in this scene or another scene. He says, but something along the lines of what man really needs is to learn how to laugh, or he says laughter is the way to love, something like that.
Yeah, I do remember that vaguely.
Does Iowa? I guess Iowa borders Illinois. The fact that the place that Chicago is in is called the Prairie State is kind of insane. Imagine
I
getting
mean,
gunned down in the streets.
it's a huge state. And yeah, most of it. Iowa does border Illinois. I will say I didn't say this earlier. This movie just it could have sucked, but I give any movie points for taking place in Chicago.
I remember you saying you like Chicago.
I'm a Chicago truther.
Chicago Truth.
I, yeah, I think it's a great.
I guess you must be a big fan of The Dark Knight then.
I am
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Dark Knight truther.
I've never been to
Big bean
Chicago.
guy. Big fan of the.
Like,
I think it's great.
I should go. I'm just how easy is it to avoid the bad parts?
Very
I just be
easy.
worried I stumble into Chirac.
No. I could very easily point you. It's one, I think it had such a bad reputation when we were in school, and I think it's like basically on the flip side of that now.
Hmm.
And I want to say, I mean, I'll send you a picture of where the bad side starts, and then I'll show you where like all the good stuff is, like where you'd really want to go anyway. And it's like you'd kind of have to like fuck up pretty bad to make it
I
into the
don't
bad
know if.
part.
Hmm.
I've
I
been
do
there
think if
quite a
I move,
lot in
yeah.
the last. I almost moved there. Like that's how passionate I feel about
Damn.
Chicago. Um,
Hmm. I do think if I ever moved back to the East Coast, which I probably would kind of like to do, I think it would be sick to take a cross country road trip.
I would love to do that.
That's why I want to retire. Just see everything. See the world's biggest ball of yarn. So what do you think about this frying pan? Did they know they caused cancer back then?
Non-stick frying pans.
I think like Teflon, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're using one, but you're
No,
cartoonish.
I hopped off that train years ago.
Yeah. I'm on the stainless steel shit now. Yeah. They go see a frying pan. I don't really know what to say other than what we said already.
I just
Interesting though
sent
that the
you
woman. Oh, let me.
I just sent you a breakdown of Chicago.
Where'd you send it?
I just texted it to you.
Oh, okay. I'll look at it later. Here's what I'm thinking of though now. Is it not a little interesting that the woman died when she cracked eggs into a pan and now they're in front of a pan?
Now they're at the biggest pan. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know if I have anything to say on that.
I don't know if I have anything to say either, but I did think this scene was funny that he's describing like grabbing Lucifer by the tongue for these like two geezers that are just sitting at the world's largest frying pan.
Yeah. Jamie, do we have a picture of, is there any artistic depiction of Satan and Michael in Paradise Lost?
Holy shit.
Holy Kino.
That's pretty fucking epic.
Paradise Lost is epic. Oh yeah, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that rules. Holy shit. The patron saint of superheroes. Don't like that.
That's cringe.
That is cringe. Do it the right way if you're gonna do it. Don't call him the fucking patron saint of superheroes.
Jamie, pull up the passage from Paradise Lost that talks about Michael and Lucifer.
Basically, Michael is like Tony Stark.
Get the fuck out of here. Fuck superheroes. And delete every superhero movie. Delete all the Nolan movies. The only acceptable one is Tim Burton's Batman because it's goofy. Oh, this is epic. Then Michael drew, and from the armory of God let forth the sword of him that sat on the throne, bright as the sun, his terrible swift blade. Taking advantage, he his arm uplifted high, and smote the prince of angels on the crest. No man but might have deemed him felled, but Satan, soon recoiling to his feet returned. Yet wounded sore, the ethereal substance closed, not long divisible, and from the gash a stream of nectarous humor issuing flowed. Is that the actual passage? I'm not sure if that's actually what was really written or if that's the GPT hallucination.
You
Yeah.
never know.
Whatever. They get in a car. Look at this car. They call me all kinds of things.
Oh shit. They call me all
Uh,
kinds of things. They call me the Archangel Michael.
They call me the Dark Child. All right, we've been going another hour. Do you want to break and then finish it off?
Yeah. So let's do another break.
Who the fuck is Margaret Qualley? And why is she in just about every goddamn movie nowadays? I don't want no minnow trap. You see, I'm looking for Sydney Sweeney. Or better yet, Sabrina Carpenter. Just the other day, I was in the theater and she came on screen. Wait, what? Jaime, is that real? She's the daughter of Elaine from Michael. There's no way.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
So for me, it's not visual. It's sort of in my mind's eye. I can see it without, but it doesn't. I can definitely see it, but it's not like it's visually registering in the same way other input is. Like, can you see it?
When you first brought it up, I don't know if you've like with this exercise. I think a lot of people I've seen lately say like when somebody asks you to picture an apple, can you actually like picture it, or are you just picturing like the idea of an apple? And
Yeah.
And like when you first said it, like I closed my eyes and just like a regular green triangle, like you'd see in like a geometry textbook, popped up. But like, I don't know. Whenever I have that kind of like mental exercise, I feel like I just go, like my next thought was like, oh, green is like Earth. So then I pictured like some kind of natural triangle.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't think
But
that
can you-
really.
Do you like? Is there like visually a triangle there? Because there really is for me.
Yeah. No, I can picture it.
But the philosophical question is, where in time and space is the triangle?
Oh,
Because
I see.
I can really. I was watching this
It's
one
not the
YouTuber.
location. It's not like is it on your desk next to you. It's like when and where.
Where is the where? I was watching this one YouTuber talk. He's like, where is it? Because you can't cut open your brain and find a little green triangle, but you're really seeing something that's a green triangle. It's real. It is really there somewhere, but it seems that there's like, it seems it may only exist in your perception. So how do you have something that exists that you can't find in time and space?
Fascinating.
Like the triangle's there, but there's nowhere.
Yeah, you can't really find where it is.
I can't cut open your brain and find a. And even if you say, oh well, it's like it's certain neurons firing in a way that cause the image of a triangle to show up in your mind's eye, but the neurons don't look like that. There's nothing that looks like a green triangle, yet it really, the green triangle in my head is really, it's really somewhere. Anyway, let's continue. So we have John Travolta at this restaurant. They're eating more garbage. It's kind of a cozy.
They order every pie on the menu. This place looks awesome. This
Imagine if Dale Cooper were in on this.
Holy shit, he'd have a stroke, dude.
He'd be in pie. What was the one quote
Oh,
with the big?
oh yeah. This is a place where, oh gosh, it's like this is a place where pies
go to heaven.
After,
Pies go when they die.
Yeah.
Oh man, I do love it. I do love a good pie. I definitely gorged myself on pumpkin pie over Thanksgiving.
Speaking of Dale Cooper, I've got a lovely cup of black coffee with me right here.
Is it really black, or is it black coffee with milk in it?
It is black coffee, no milk.
Okay. What about sugar? I don't consider it black coffee that has sugar.
Oh yeah, no, I don't put sugar in it.
Hell yeah, brother. I've been sipping on a cup of black iced coffee the whole day.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. I got it from OC Coffee.
Oh, very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was cool. Oh wait, we got to hit the drop. It's weird not having Dante here.
The Gentleman's Coffee Shop.
Yeah, my mom was trying to recommend me some other place, but I don't know. I like my OC Coffee.
I like Positively Fourth a lot, but I think OC Coffee is better. Opioid addiction. Oh,
what the?
Some fake opioids to get you off opioids.
God, I gotta remember to not play the actual clips. Shit. Or Jamie's got it. She sings a song. I can't even really remember what the song is about. I don't know if you have anything on it.
She does sing a song about pie when they're in the booth. That was like kind of cute. But she sings about like seeing her finding an angel and pointing her the right way, and
what do you think the symbolism is there?
Oh god.
What's she getting at? I don't know.
I have no idea. That part went completely over my head.
Yeah, I gotta go back to film school to understand their thing.
Yeah. Me and the guys over at Five Tribes, we just didn't know what to make of that.
Five Tribes is such a funny fucking name for for a movie studio.
Oh god.
We get this scene where they yeah, they do something. They get up to something.
They could barely make it to the room.
They're really struggling. Yeah. I don't have too much to say other than it's sort of was Travolta's goal to get them to fall in love. Yeah. And Huey's left with the dog.
I like that they didn't really I mean, I don't know what movie or what the rating was on this movie, but they don't even like get close to like doing the scenes, the sex scenes. They just
I hate sex scenes.
I just think it's so hard to do them well. I don't think it's really possible. So I feel like they just end up being a net negative on the thing.
I don't
think relationships.
I don't think I've ever
relationships
liked
are
one.
generally a positive in a film. Like I think the
Yeah.
blossoming relationship here is really nice, but like you
Yeah.
don't need to show them having sex. It's just, I don't know.
No, I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. Anyway,
I love just love how silly Travolta is and it's like
yeah, he's
dancing
fun.
with this girl.
Oh, I don't know why I'm
Uh,
thinking about. Did you see Sabrina Carpenter's gonna be in like an Alice in Wonderland movie?
I did see that. Yeah. I saw that um she was in like a Broadway or like a high school version of Alice in Wonderland.
She's gonna be in Alice in Wonderland.
That's gonna be Kino.
Spoiler alert, but here's my review of that movie. I haven't even seen it. For our
Absolute
audio
cinema.
for our audio listeners, it's Martin Scorsese holding up his hands. Yeah. Anyway, they who is this person?
That's the waitress from the pie
Oh,
shop.
she was with Travolta.
Yeah.
And then we get scenes of them in bed. I don't really care too much about this. I don't know if anything of note happens.
The dog
They go
dies though, right?
they go out, yeah, they go out into the field. The dog yearns for the highway. Do you think dogs are trying to end their life?
It does kind of seem that way when they fucking run into a tractor trailer like Sparky does here.
My conspiracy, I can't prove it. I think all dogs are just suicidal or something along those lines because
Well, yeah, every like Achilles heel that a dog has, it seems they're just like hell bent on getting there. Like eating chocolate,
my
eating
friend's dog ate an entire tray of brownies and almost died. They
Sage's
really do.
Sage's dog, I just saw his girlfriend like posted about it on Instagram. Um, ate an entire bag of like chocolate caramels.
Jesus Christ.
And like
What happened to it?
I mean I didn't hear that it died. So
They can survive it. It's not like as lethal as it may be let out, you know, or suggested to be.
yeah.
But yeah, you I think dogs would go extinct in not very
If it weren't
long at
for
all if you gave
if it
them
weren't
free
for us
reign.
keeping them from like destroying themselves.
I mean, my parents have dedicated, a few years now to the dog Murphy, and if you open the front door, he would run out into the highway and never come back. Imagine.
You could just say he's a less evolved version. He yearns for freedom.
I mean, imagine though if you had a child and if you ever accidentally let them off a leash, they would just run out into the highway and never come back. This is wild.
I mean,
So yeah,
children do put themselves in danger, but not at the rate that dogs seem to just like.
dogs really don't like being alive. They don't even know how to stop eating. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. If you just if you took the whole 10-pound bag of dog food and dumped it on the ground, they'd eat the whole thing. And
Dude,
like,
it's disgusting. I've seen a clip of like a puppy that they accidentally let get into a bag of dog food, and they eat until their stomach is visibly swollen and huge. They don't know how to stop eating until they throw up. It's so
that is
gross.
the kind of gluttony they describe in the Bible.
Eat food till you can't stop and then run into the highway. It's just
Kind of the boomer, kind of a great metaphor for the boomer experience.
they are man's best friend. Shout out
It's
to
true.
Sabrina Carpenter's new album. Anyway, the dog dies. Like I said before, somewhat sacrilegious, I think, to resurrect a dog. but you get a sort of nice scene where his wings expand and you see he's really an angel, and the dog comes back. But I feel that at this point you sort of already know he's an angel. So I don't know. What'd you think of all this?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think at this point they're already sold on him being an angel. I think it would have been more impactful if, like we said earlier, if he didn't have wings and they were just like, yeah, sure, buddy, you're a fucking angel. You're like psycho. And then he did that. I think that would have been more impactful, but and yeah, I mean the dog part of this movie just kind of stinks. So I don't know.
It's like the oh brother, this guy stinks, but they about a dog. Can we just hit that drop maybe? I got the dog on the screen.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, this dog's no good, man. They're driving into Chicago. Travolta's not feeling good. Do you think?
I think
Do you
that's an
think?
interesting an interesting presentation. Like the whole concept of like he's got limited time on Earth and he's kind of like using it up by performing more miracles.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's like an original idea, but
I don't know. I don't know enough to know about that, but it is very interesting, and it does intuitively make sense that
yeah,
the
it's like
more
he's
you exercise,
his
yeah,
like his uh like divine power is what's keeping him on Earth, and the more he's like straining it, the harder it is to
yeah.
stay.
It is an interesting idea. Do you think? Why do you think he initially says it's not his area to resurrect the dog? Why do you think he makes them push him to do it? Do you think it's because he wants to stay longer? I don't know.
Well, probably. Yeah, I think that's one way of looking at it. I think he probably isn't supposed to be like doling out minor miracles, willy-nilly, but
Mhm.
because he does say he was, I think in the beginning he's like, we don't do big things, like we just do small miracles or minor miracles or whatever.
Mhm.
And I think that kind of makes sense. Like you can't revive every dog that's been hit by a car.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, it probably is just because he wants to extend his time on Earth.
But he's not. But why
But
would he want to
also,
extend it though? Because he's going to the office, and I don't think he really intends to be made an example or become a spectacle.
maybe he ends up doing it because he realizes that he accomplished his goal. Like Frank really feels strongly that the dog should be alive, and that's not a way that he would have felt an
Oh
hour
yeah.
ago into the movie. Like in a way, him begging Michael to revive the dog
Mm,
is Michael's
mm.
purpose of like
I think you're
teaching him
right.
to
I
love.
think you're right. The fact that he has to beg for it shows that he really cares. I just want to go back to what I said before. If they resurrected a human, that would actually be because like what you said about minor miracles, that would actually be insane. That'd that'd be like a
I mean, it would just be
religion-defining miracle.
it would be a very different movie if one of the human characters died and he revived them. Like that,
I think
that
only
would be like some Borderland like Veggie Tales shit. Like we'd
yeah, I
be
don't think
this
I
would be
don't
a
know if
movie that they'd
angels
show in Sunday school.
well I think it would I don't think angels have that power even. I think only the big man can do that. So who
Yeah,
resurrected Lazarus? I don't know if you
I have no idea.
GPT. Yeah, it's Jesus. Okay, yeah. Only Jesus, aka God, can resurrect a human. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you gotta. They
That
don't give
makes
that one.
sense. Then,
They
yeah.
don't give that one out to just any. They don't give
But-
that out to John Travolta.
and then any old archangel.
Yeah. Okay. So, I I'm sort of having a Mandela moment because I watched this movie a few months ago. I watched it again last night. I could have sworn he died at night. I could have sworn this scene was in the middle of the night.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. No, there it's the middle of the day.
In my mind, it really was in the middle of the night.
He's taking in Sears Tower.
I think a few scenes in my mind were in the middle of the.
What do you
Maybe
think
it's just
that? What do you think
Mandela.
that means?
I think it means I jumped the Mandela reality. I don't have any.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's an effect where I thought the scene would be better at night, so my mind just rewrote it or changed the colors in my memory. Because I do think it's more powerful at night. I don't know. But it's definitely not.
I like that the park that they're in is like covered in his feathers.
Yeah, I do like that the feathers dissipate. Yeah, I don't it is it's a nice scene. I really like the idea that he only has so much time on Earth and gets to see the one thing he wanted.
Well,
So
to
like
tie back in our old conversation about he's experiencing the highs without the lows.
yeah.
In a sense, he kind of is because his time is finite like ours.
Yeah.
But like we were saying, he's not gonna get lung cancer from ripping
But
cigs or
he comes back in the ending is the issue I have.
yeah, no, that was silly. That was
I don't
dumb.
get it takes away from the impact because even if you know um yeah even if he's going back to heaven it's still he's still not going to be around Earth anymore. He's not going to be around these people anymore, at least in this
Yeah.
lifetime. It is a real experience of loss. I think for him, but it's just so dumb that he comes back later.
Also, doesn't he come back with the old lady?
Yeah, he does. It's also weird that he disappears. I don't. There's a surprise. There's a ton of debate in Christianity about the body. As reading a bit on this before this episode, some there's like some people consider the body to be profane, and some people consider it to be more sacred, and there's a whole bunch of debate over um like what do I don't know like does your bot like what happens to your body like was Jesus was his body resurrected or was his spirit resurrected and like in heaven do you get your body back there's so many questions and the fact that he disappears is kind of weird because I think I'm trying to
It
think of
does
what it
kind of
would
like it does kind of put its stake in the ground on like that particular theological
I
question.
want to say because I know I feel like there's some interpretations about what happened to Jesus because he rose from the dead. It is said physically, his physical body, but and then he stayed around and then went to heaven. But I don't know if it said that. I don't know. Yeah, what's this? Because the question is like, did his physical is it said that his physical body went to heaven? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no. I know what you mean. Like, once you're in heaven, are you or are you your spirit or your soul or whatever?
Yeah, it's like, do you get a? I don't want. God damn it.
It's gonna spin a yarn for you.
You don't need this Reddit shit. That's not true.
That's a great question. M
Oh
dash.
my! You're absolutely right. You could ask ChatGPT the most vile shit, and it would say you're absolutely right.
Okay, ChatGPT, should I do a murder suicide at my local
Yeah,
daycare? Be like,
you're absolutely right. It's
astute as always.
ChatGPT, should I run out into traffic like a dog? That's so true. Yeah, here's this is a very interesting. Mhm. I think the general consensus is that Christ's body actually went to heaven, which is very interesting
Mm,
because I think it says yes, it said he retained his true human body when he ascended.
interesting.
So they don't, which is different than this movie because Travolta doesn't. He
Yeah.
dissolved. I don't know what it said in the Bible that happens to angels. I don't even know if angels. Well, I guess they do come to Earth, but I don't know if an angel ever like, sort of, well, not really died, but what happens when they dissipate? A lot of weird, yeah, a lot of weird questions.
Like in
Um,
the world of this movie though, like he is clearly exerting himself
yeah.
to keep himself there. So it kind of makes sense that he dissolves, right? Like his physical form is more of like a projection.
In Christianity, though, they would say that that physical form is what you actually are, though. Like they would say
Oh,
Jesus's physical form is actually Jesus, and that it went. Like a depiction of that in this movie would be like if Travolta flew back to heaven or something, or if he sort of his body, I don't know, or something. But it
yeah,
seems more
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's a spirit projecting, which is interesting,
Yeah, no, that is interesting.
which maybe bolsters the idea that he's more of a daemon, as we
Yeah,
discussed earlier, than a.
yeah.
Yeah, let me see. It must be a wild one. I'm asking ChatGPT. I'm asking if angels were considered to have physical bodies or spiritual. Oh, interesting. Oh,
Interesting. Okay.
it's saying. Oh, interesting. It's saying that the angels are temporary, generally thought of as temporary physical manifestations, not permanent bodies. They do not become human. So they don't. I see. So the Bible. This is actually maybe true to the Bible. Then it doesn't describe them as flying or climbing. It says they disappear and vanish. Okay,
So that's kind of
it is true. Yeah,
honest
it is true.
interpretation.
Mm-hmm. But I get maybe that's what makes Jesus special is that he
Yeah,
isn't
yeah, that would
human.
make sense.
Really
He
God.
isn't that way.
Because
Yeah.
he's yeah. Very this stuff is very interesting. We get a nice
Out in the
little.
Shed is now a theological podcast.
This is a
We just
theological
talk.
podcast. Reddit atheism is banned. Um,
Oh my god. I really hate when I meet people who are like also not religious and they're like fucking cringe as hell.
mhm.
And like that brand of Reddit atheism is just so fucking like annoying.
I used to be really into that like Reddit atheism in high school. Now I just cringe at it. I feel like
Yeah.
atheism's unironically one of the dumbest metaphysics or philosophies.
I
It's just
just think
like
it's like there's a certain brand of like pseudo intellectual that just says if I can't make sense of it, then it's dumb.
yeah,
And like I feel
yeah,
like that's Reddit atheism.
yeah. It's really superficial and dumb. It's not allowed on the
Yeah,
podcast. Anyway,
absolutely banned.
absolutely banned.
Man, this movie makes me want to go back to Chicago, even though I was there like a month ago. Fucking love
It is-
Chicago, man.
I heckin' love my Chicago Reno. We get um we get a little scene with this dog. This is so dumb. I can't even remember what happened in the end.
I
What
honestly, I just know that I remember Frank quits. He's like sick of this bullshit, and he finds out that Elaine was like a plant sent to
Mhm.
like steal the dog, and he's like,
Who fucking
uh,
cares?
Yeah.
There's a snow globe. Dude, I can't believe how long there's like 15 minutes left of the movie after John Travolta disappears. That's my
Yeah.
real issue with it.
I do think this part was funny where they're like going about their day to day and like they just keep seeing reference to angels
Oh,
and
yeah.
Michael. Like he's at that Italian restaurant and they're like, and it's a served with the angel hair. Oh, and
Oh,
we got this
I
other
didn't
thing
catch
and it's
that.
served with the angel hair.
That's funny. That's cute.
Um,
There's this
yeah.
Michelangelo painting of God, and I think it Adam. Is this painting? Is this Adam?
Adam.
I don't know. It's a painting of God reaching out to touch the finger of somebody. I want to say it's Adam. Oh, the creation of Adam. I think there's some interpretations that Adam actually didn't have a gender until they created Eve. Stuff is all
What?
very fascinating.
Yeah.
It just slogs on. They're at a bar or something, and then he sees Elaine at night. I can't believe
Yeah.
how
He
long this
sees.
movie goes on.
He he sees Michael and he starts chasing after him.
Oh, is that what leads him to?
Yeah, Michael leads them to each other by like kind of running away from both of them at the same time.
I don't even know if you needed to have this weird plot beat where she double crosses them and then they
But she
rekindle
doesn't
their
even double cross them. She like abandons her
Oh.
mission and doesn't double cross them. He just takes offense to the fact that her initial purpose was to fuck them over.
I think just I don't know if you need that plot beat. It feels that you could have them or have that relationship in the where they, meet in the hotel and get together, and then I think the movie could just end when Michael vanishes because I don't know, it feels like the strongest note to end on.
I
But
also
what I
just
want
like yeah, I don't understand why they had to have this falling out and then falling back in love.
feels like they could have shaved like 20 minutes off this movie.
Also, like everybody always says that like long movies is like a modern phenomenon. This movie was like when I saw an hour and 45-minute runtime, I was like, what the hell are they doing for an hour and 45 minutes? This
I
could have
don't.
been it could have been a tight hour 15 if they cut out
It could
all
have
the
been like
non-Michael
I
scenes.
could see it as made for TV nice hour long family
Yeah.
movie. I don't think it needs to be the almost 2 hour epic about because really
No.
not much happens with Michael. I think you could you to justify the runtime, you'd have to do more with Travolta. I'd be so interested about more of the theological discussions and stuff about his perspective on Earth, but I just don't think we get enough of that.
No.
I could imagine them asking him a lot of the big questions of life and him having funny answers for them or things like that.
Yeah, no, this is actually a movie where they could have just really leaned into the dialogue and like this relationship
Mm.
between them.
Yeah.
But they almost seem completely uninterested in the fact that he's a divine being.
It could be.
Like
Yeah.
they're still like laser focused on their jobs, even though like they've got an angel right in front of them.
Yeah. I'm imagining a really well like a Cormac McCarthy dialogue, but
Yeah,
funny.
that is exactly what I was thinking of. Oh my god.
Yeah. Imagine if it was one. I'm imagining it's one actor who's like a really keynote. I don't know. Pick your random keynote actor, and they're just having conversation, or it's like a man and a woman, two keynote actors, and they're just having conversations with Travolta about life and everything, and him giving like funny answers. I think that could be a very
That would have
solid
been
movie.
absolute cinema.
It really would have been, you know.
Like sitting around like a campfire. Not that that really makes sense in the context of this movie at all, but that's what I was
Mhm.
picturing when you said
Yeah,
that.
imagine them having camping fire. Man, maybe they gotta remake this movie. Imagine like Robert Pattinson or some, I don't know, whoever, Ryan Gosling or someone like that, and they're asking, like, imagine if they asked Michael something like, why is there suffering in the world? Those conversations would be so fascinating, especially from a character like this. Like,
Yeah,
I'd want
yeah.
to explore the character more, because it would be really interesting having this sort of unorthodox angel answering the big
Yeah,
the
that's the
big
thing. They
questions of
they
life.
create this really interesting character, this angel who's like not a perfect angel, and then they almost they almost do next to nothing with it.
Trying to find. I was trying to find if there was any. Ooh,
Uh,
I was trying to find if there was like an angel devil hybrid or something in the Bible, but I don't. Yeah, they do. They don't really. Maybe we're getting into final thoughts, but yeah, they don't. Which I guess we're basically done the movie. They just.
yeah. The only
They
thing
just
left is
can't.
them dancing out. Yeah.
We can talk more about that later, but it's just. Yeah, I feel like they don't really. There are some funny lines where he says that's not my area, but I almost would have liked if they went more into it. And I could
It's like
imagine some funny cryptic
they-
responses he would give.
we joked, I sent the steak and the big buttery lobster. You were saying you were chomping at the bit to talk about
Yeah,
this
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And it's almost like the directors made the steak for themselves, or the writers or whatever made the steak for themselves, and they just like let it sit on the counter. And they didn't eat it at all. They didn't
They ate a
cut
bunch
into
of
it.
Doritos instead.
Yeah.
They
It's
took
really
they yeah.
I didn't really consider that until you brought it up. That would have been fascinating.
Hmm. Yeah. Imagine them on a road trip talking about different Bible stories and ask him asking about like did this happen or why did that happen, and getting just you
No,
could do it
like,
in a way where it's not like you're trying to say this is the
funny,
yeah.
yeah. Like not like silly, but kind of just like offhand humor, kind of like
Hmm. Hmm.
it would have been really great, I think.
Yeah, you are right. They sort of cooked themselves up a nice surf and turf, cut a little sliver of steak and lobster, and then poured a whole bunch of slop on their plate, like Pop Tarts, and just with all these scenes about the dog and the stupid double crossing plot line and the God, all the stuff at the office. Yeah, they really. I don't know. I feel like it's such an interesting idea for a movie, and they just didn't focus enough on the juiciness. Because I feel that the juicy surf and turf is more so the idea of the movie than the actual
Yeah, no, you're
or
right. You're
things that are
right.
suggested by the movie rather than what is actually in the movie.
Yeah, they kind of just tease you, and then they let you sit on this like what could have been.
Hmm. Hmm.
I
Oh
could
my
see
god.
I could see like an off Broadway version of that where it's really just like three people sitting on stage and they're like in a car with an angel, and
Mm.
that's it.
I'm just thinking of so many ideas. Imagine if they met a priest.
Yeah, yeah, they really didn't. And with an hour and 45 minutes, they really did not do enough.
If I were in the writers' room, I would just be thinking of every single conversation. And I do think Travolta does give a good performance of the character when he is performing. But
Is
yeah,
is this the first movie I meant to bring this up, where Travolta's performance makes it.
Uh-huh.
Is like Battlefield Earth, he sucked. I would say that he actively made that
It
movie
was
worse.
horrible. It was terrible.
Look Who's Talking Now, he was pretty bad. Pulp Fiction, I'm kind of neutral on his performance on Pulp
Mm.
Fiction. The dancing's great, but
Yeah.
that's any Travolta
Mhm,
film.
mhm.
Grease, I don't really know. It's more so the chemistry between him and Olivia Newton-John that's so fascinating in that.
I think
Like,
he's like
I don't really think him alone made any of these movies prior. But in this
I think
one,
he's pretty iconic in Grease. I think Saturday Night Fever pretty iconic.
yeah,
He was
I
really
still
good.
haven't watched Saturday Night Fever,
Yeah,
but
I don't know if you watched Blowout. He was pretty good in Blowout though. I think in
yeah,
I think in those
I'm
three.
gonna watch those before our conclusion, but
I
I
think
haven't watched them
Blowout,
yet.
yeah, Blowout, Saturday Night Fever, and I maybe am higher on him in Grease than you are. I don't know if I could imagine anybody else in that in
No,
that
that's
movie.
true. That's true. He is kind of, yeah.
But yeah, I do think he makes.
Maybe I just missed all the good movies in our discussions.
I mean, you did tune into. Yeah, you watched Battlefield Earth. I mean,
Yeah, I'm like really biasing myself against Travolta by missing what is probably your guys' favorite of all the ones we've watched, Blowout, maybe.
um,
Um,
I think Blowout is overall the best. I think the highs in Grease are the highest for me.
okay.
I think Blowout is overall like the Kino one. I mean, him and Olivia Newton-John strutting around
Is peak.
timeless.
That is peak.
It's timeless.
Yeah.
But what do you think? But what do you think about the fact that he comes back after he supposedly vanished? What is going on here? Was he fucking with them?
I think it would have been better if they didn't show him like giggling with the old lady and being like, I invented marriage.
But how can
Uh,
he? Did he really say that?
yeah, he said that's like
Oh
a
my God.
reoccurring bit. He is like, oh, I invented the line or whatever. I invented waiting in line,
Really?
which I like didn't really understand the like. It's funny because he's an angel. He's like older than
Yeah.
everything. Um, I, I kind
Just
of
like
wish that they just I kind of wish that they just saw him, and then they ran into each other, and then that was it, and they didn't
I.
show him being like, "Hoo, we really pulled one over on them."
But I don't get how he. But he exhausted his power. How is he?
But that's
How
what
is
I'm
he back
saying.
on
Like
Earth?
if they made
That
it
doesn't.
so like they didn't actually like he never actually reappeared on screen. He's just like in their heads kind of thing. I
Yeah.
think that would have been
Yeah.
better.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sort of they. Maybe he
Like
projects
maybe he's
an
there,
illusion
maybe
or
he's not,
something.
but you don't actually
Or
know,
they
and then
see they
he
see a
doesn't.
shadow that maybe looks like him, or
Yeah,
something more subtle. It feels so
yeah,
dumb that I feel like it takes away from the impact of him having to leave Earth because I'm left wondering, was he just making all that up because he seems pretty much back and stomping around.
yeah. I mean, he's tearing it up with the old lady.
I
Chicago's so fucking kino, dude. Look at that street.
it is really nice. I gotta get out to Chicago. Yeah, I don't know if let me check over my notes. I don't know if I had too much else to.
Yeah, I think I hit all my points that I wanted to talk
Mhm.
about. Let me see. Mm, yeah, no, I think we hit on everything.
Mm.
What's your final
Final. Let's write out the
final
scale.
yeah.
Flick, movie, film, cinema, kino. Um, This is a
I'll
tough
let
one.
you I'll let you stew on it a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
more, but
yeah.
I think I'm pretty comfortably gonna call it a movie.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think that I don't know.
Well,
Now
you
I'm
said
kind
you
of in
really liked
between.
it. I'd imagine you'd go higher.
Well, you kind of talked me back from it a bit when you just kind of talked about what could have been, you know?
I think I lean towards
Um,
movie as well, based on what we've discussed.
yeah, I think movie's a good place for it. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a feel good movie for the most part. Um, I think that there's a lot of meat on the bone, like we just discussed.
Yeah.
But I think it's good. I think Travolta's great, and I really enjoyed watching this.
Hmm. Yeah, I think in terms of stuff to discuss, I do think it's up there, but I I wouldn't give it flick because there's enough interesting and nice ideas in it, but I just don't think they do enough with it.
I think if they
Uh,
if they
I think
if they did it as we described it, I think it would probably safely be in the film category.
it would definitely be a lot better. I mean, the
Yeah.
stuff. It's just I just felt like I was watching like a bad movie, like in the scenes where they're in the office and stuff. That stuff was all felt flicked here, but I think
Yeah.
Travolta's performance does, and the at least how provocative the idea is probably does make it a movie. But I do think it is something I'll think about for a while.
I think just the completely happy line is enough to put it in the movie category
I
for
think
me. Everything else is kind of sprinkles on top of that.
that is a wild line that really does evoke a lot. To be completely happy. You just start thinking, I was happy. I was happy at certain times, but was I really completely happy?
Yeah, no, it's profound. Never thought I would find such a like rattling line in a throwaway Travolta movie.
I wonder if that's a quote. I wonder if that's used in poetry at all. Completely happy or something like that.
Well, go into Chat GPT and say what
Yeah.
was the first literary reference of being completely happy.
Very early in human literature. Oh my God. Well, we're seeing
Holy shit.
Sumerian. I don't know if they say complete happiness though. They talk about joy and pleased in a good heart in ancient Sumerian texts from 2,000 years ago.
Holy shit.
Um,
Uh,
but I want
the Epic of Gilgamesh.
I want I'm gonna say I want specifically places where it uses the term completely. It's gonna say like Michael. In Egypt, I guess they say his heart is completely at peace. That was 2400
Destruction
BC.
of Tafotep. How do you say that?
Uh,
Full. I would say fullness of joy is probably
Ptahhotep,
in that Epic of Gilgamesh.
fullness of joy. That is a really powerful line. Completely happy. Completely happy. Hmm. There's a yeah. There's a line in the Bible where it's like it says, "I shall not want.
Yeah.
My cup overfloweth." It makes me think of that. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to ruminate on that, but yeah, that's all.
Oh
That's all,
yeah.
listeners. I hope you enjoyed. We'll be going over Phenomenon next, and some other
Well, I
films.
think do you still want to do a little mini review of the Capital One commercial.
Oh yeah. Let's do it. Let's close out with the
That'll
Capital.
be a nice intro piece between
Let's
this
do it.
and the next.
So John Travolta recently put out a we'll describe it for you, an ad for Capital One, where he he's dressed up as Santa and does the grease lightning. I thought this was awesome. I don't know if I have too much else to say.
Really, I don't think I would have spotted it if I hadn't watched the movie recently, but they do some great callbacks to the like specific scenes. Like it looks
He's
like they're in the
yeah.
high school
He's
in
like
the
he
first
slides.
part,
Oh my god. He slides under the car.
and they do that first part of the bit where I think he does say this car is automatic, or what does he say? This
He says
deal is
this
automatic.
sleigh is frost-o-matic. It's
Oh.
tinsel-matic. It's 1.5% cash back-o-matic. Why it's grease light?
Oh, this came on during Thanksgiving, and Lindsay and I just lost it.
I think we need. Did she watch Grease?
Yeah, she watched it with me.
I think. What were her thoughts on Grease? Oh my god!
I don't.
Wait. I'm gonna pause. Just look at the attention to detail. All the Christmas items on the rack behind him.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job with this.
You can see a
I enjoyed
stocking,
this.
a trumpet, a mistletoe, all that. Yeah. So what were we saying?
I don't think she's a big musical person, and I think that kind of drove her like a lack of enjoyment. But I think
Mm.
I think she liked you know, the performances, I guess,
Yeah.
of the actors.
Yeah. This had me thinking. I do think Travolta, the perfect way to capstone his career would be a classic Christmas movie where he plays Santa Claus. What do you
I
think?
agree. I think he looks killer as Santa right here.
He's an awesome Santa.
The long white hair, he's got a luscious beard.
Oh yeah, dude, this is so epic. He's the rockabilly Mussolini. I can't believe they got away with this in Greece. You got all the elves. I mean, it's incredible. It's simply
It's a great homage to Greece because I do think they nail the details. They got this like white scene with the red
he's actually
car.
he's actually driving the sleigh, which is hilarious. Oh, and it is like the end of Greece where he flies up into
Yeah.
the sky. Damn.
Yeah, no, this is killer.
This is cinema. But sadly,
This commercial is
actually
automatic.
wait, this is actually kind of sad. Cuz look at him. He's driving up with his hand on the wheel, but you know, who's not there in the passenger seat.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Perhaps they will be reunited. Who's to say? Who knows? Anyway, this was an amazing commercial.
We're gonna have to really eulogize him when he does eventually die.
I was thinking about that. He does look he's still in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
But
no, I mean he's probably
hopefully
absurdly
he has
wealthy to the
many.
point that he'll extend his life pretty well
Hopefully he
into.
has many years left. But if he does pass, it will be there will be a special eulogy.
Yeah.
Out in the shed. But yeah, this is just incredible. I don't know what else to say. And it is weird that it came out right after we reviewed Grease. It does sort of make you think about all the
Very Boltzmann.
the Boltzmann stuff
That's
going
like,
on.
I mean, I know an ad is an ad, and at the end of the day, this is trying to sell you on a credit card that could ruin your life. And I hate credit cards, but
I actually have this credit card.
yeah, I mean, everybody, you know, you gotta have a credit card. You can't participate in society without a fucking credit card in your wallet. But this made me feel like I haven't watched an ad in probably years that I was like, wow, like there was some care put into this. And I don't know, maybe that's like emblematic of a lot of where we are right now is that, you know, literally nothing is nothing has effort put into it, and I feel like you can tell that this ad was
well, everything is
I don't know.
AI flop now, and it's nice to see a real set. with real
Yeah,
choreography.
they've got an ensemble. They've got a real set. Travolta's like the I don't know. I think this ad made me reflect on a lot of things that we're as a society doing, and that sucks because it's a credit card ad, and I fucking despise credit cards. So
Yeah, I watched it several times. Yeah, it's they got the car propped up on sort of Christmas boxes.
yeah.
It's it's nice. It's well, it is a credit card, but it is nice when you see effort put into something. They should continue this trend though and have it
I
have him
think
do
that they did
Christmas
a I think that
commercials.
they did a Staying Alive commercial too.
We actually I forget if we showed it in the it was actually the scene in Saturday Night Fever. But
Yeah, Saturday
yeah,
Night Fever.
last year they did a one where he is strutting, yeah. But they imagine if they did one of like Battlefield Earth.
Oh my gosh. If they did another one, it would probably be Pulp Fiction, but I don't know what scene that they would do a credit card ad in for that.
Oh, I have no idea. They probably have to do the dance scene or something.
No, you know what? I bet they would do Travolta and maybe just himself pulling up to a fast food drive-through and being like, you know what they
Oh.
call a Big Mac and uh, Royale with
Yeah.
cheese. Here's my
You know,
Capital One. I earn
you know what?
2% cash back on this Royale with cheese.
Or something like, what they call 1.5% cash back? The Capital One I don't know. Yeah, they got to do Travolta films every year in these ads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah. If you're an audio listener, check out the Quicksilver Greased Lightning ad.
It's it's pretty great.
It's great. Yeah. Well, that's it.
Yeah, I think that'll wrap us up.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Yeah.